For the next hour, I'm going to fill your brains with facts so random, you're going to be left questioning everything you know. But be aware, because somewhere in the video, I'm going to try and slip a fake fact. Will you be able to spot it? Let's start. 1. There's a planet far from ours that looks friendly. But once you look closer, it's something you can only imagine in doomsday movies. Planet HD 189733b is located 63 light-years away from Earth and a gas giant. Now imagine yourself present in those conditions, with glass cutting you at speeds greater than a bullet train. That essentially makes this planet a giant shredder. 2. When squid squirt ink, it doesn't just create a smoky cloud to confuse predators. It contains a chemical called dopamine. This chemical can block signals in the brain linked to memory, almost like hitting a pause button in your mind. While sipping squid ink lattes isn't a thing, thankfully, scientists are exploring dopamine for potential treatments for neurological conditions and memory research. So squid ink might be more than just a cool ocean trick. It could hold secrets to how our brains work. 3. Trimethylamine is infamous for its unmistakable fishy odor released when organic matter breaks down. Surprisingly, this stinky compound has a useful role in the medical field. In controlled amounts, trimethylamine is used in certain treatments and scientific studies, proving that even the worst smells can have a purpose. So while it might make your nose wrinkle, trimethylamine is a prime example of how science can turn the unpleasant into something surprisingly useful. 4. The first known computer virus, called Brain, was created in 1986 by two Pakistani brothers. Interestingly, they didn't design it to cause harm. Instead, their goal was to protect their software from piracy. Brain was intended to monitor if their program was being illegally copied, but things quickly spiraled out of control as it began spreading globally. This serves as a powerful reminder of how even well-meaning tech innovations can have unforeseen and far-reaching consequences. 5. Sounds like something straight out of a science fiction story, but researchers have actually developed a form of computation that uses liquid dynamics and water molecules to perform calculations. This concept is called fluid computing, and while it's still in the experimental phase, it holds the potential to revolutionize computing by offering efficient, low-power alternatives to traditional electronics without relying on conventional electricity. It's an exciting glimpse into the future of sustainable and innovative technology. 6. Research has shown that babies exposed to multiple languages in their first few months can process and differentiate them even before they learn to speak. Infants are capable of recognizing the sound patterns of different languages in utero, making their early environment critical for multilingual development. So yes, talking to your baby in 2 languages is actually a great head start. 7. The longest recorded hole-in-one in history was scored by Mike Heinen during a professional tournament on a par 5 with a distance of 517 yards. Achieving a hole-in-one on a par 5 is rare, because these holes are much longer and more challenging. The precision and skill needed to pull off a shot like that are almost supernatural, but Heinen made it happen. 8. You may love it in your morning coffee, but caffeine has a surprising purpose beyond waking you up. It's actually a natural defense mechanism for coffee plants, acting as a built-in pesticide to keep hungry insects from munching on the plant. So every time you sip your daily cup of joe, you're drinking a chemical that was originally designed to protect the plant from being eaten. Cheers to science, survival, and that perfect morning pick-me-up. Speaking of coffee, if you're enjoying this video and want to support the channel, consider buying me a coffee. The link is in the description below. 9. The world's tallest bicycle was built by a man named Daniel Kromhout in 2015, and it stood at a jaw-dropping 14 feet tall. To ride it, you'd need to climb a ladder just to get on. Talk about a workout before you even start pedaling. Riding it wasn't the most practical activity, but it sure would make for a dramatic entrance at a parade or special event. It's one of those inventions that leaves you wondering how anyone even thought of building it in the first place. 10. Before becoming president, Barack Obama was a huge fan of comic books as a kid. His favorites were Spider-Man and Conan the Barbarian, and he would spend hours reading and enjoying these stories. His love for these characters and their adventures inspired him during his early years and gave him a unique connection to superhero culture. Obama has even credited his childhood passion for comics as something that shaped his imagination and worldview. 11. Studies have revealed that plants, like corn, can detect subtle vibrations in their environment. They can sense the sound of water moving through the soil, helping them locate essential moisture. Even more impressively, or creepily, they can hear the chewing sounds of insects munching on their leaves. This allows some plants to activate their defense mechanisms, like releasing chemicals to deter pests. It's like they have their own form of hearing, proving plants are far more aware of their surroundings than we ever imagined. 12. The human body is constantly renewing itself, and your skin is at the forefront of this regeneration. Every minute, thousands of dead skin cells flake off, making way for new ones. Over the course of a single day, you shed nearly 1 million skin cells, so much that they make up a significant portion of household dust. Despite this constant shedding, your skin stays your largest and fastest regenerating organ, with a complete renewal every 27 days or so. It's an incredible system that keeps your body protected and fresh, even if it does mean more dusting at home. 13. A small and remote village in Japan named Nagoro is famously known as the Valley of Dolls because it has more life-size dolls than actual human residents. As the population dwindled due to aging and migration, local artist Tsukimi Ayano began creating these dolls to honor the memory of those who had left or passed away. Each doll represents a former resident, crafted with care to reflect their appearance and personality. These figures now inhabit the village, occupying schools, bus stops, farms, and homes, giving the deserted areas an eerie yet poignant sense of life. The dolls have turned Nagoro into a hauntingly unique tourist attraction, highlighting the challenges of rural depopulation in Japan. 14. It sounds strange, but walking backward, or retro walking as it's sometimes called, has been shown to engage different muscle groups and burn more calories than the traditional forward walking. This is because backward walking engages your core, legs, and stabilizing muscles more intensely. Plus, it improves balance and coordination, making it a fantastic addition to your fitness routine. 15. The invention of Velcro came from a simple nature walk. In 1941, Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral went for a hike and noticed burrs sticking to his clothing. Fascinated by how they clung so effectively, he studied their structure and developed the concept of hook and loop fasteners. Today, Velcro is a common feature in everything from shoes to spacesuits, all thanks to a walk in the woods. 16. Medieval engineers invented the first forms of automated machinery powered by natural resources, such as wind and water. For example, water mills were used for grinding grain into flour, and windmills were used to pump water or generate mechanical energy for agricultural tasks. These early machines were surprisingly advanced for the time, showcasing how medieval societies harnessed renewable energy sources long before the Industrial Revolution. 17. Research shows that new parents lose around 6 months of sleep during the first 2 years of their baby's life. Sleep deprivation is real. Between late-night feedings, comforting, and unpredictable baby schedules, parents are running on less rest than they may have thought possible. Coffee companies should probably give parenting discounts at this point. 18. Botanically speaking, bananas are classified as berries because they meet the scientific definition. They're fleshy, contain seeds, and develop from a single ovary. On the other hand, strawberries don't fit the definition of a true berry because their seeds are on the outside of the fruit. So next time you eat a banana, just remember you're eating a true berry, while strawberries are a little less true to the name. 19. The first recorded Olympic Games took place in 776 BCE in ancient Greece and were as much a spiritual event as a sporting competition. They were dedicated to honoring the gods, especially Zeus, and included rituals and sacrifices as part of the festivities. Competitors competed not just for glory, but as part of a religious offering. Modern-day sports are still influenced by these ancient traditions, but without the sacrifices. 20. While not as advanced as today's tanks, medieval armies used early forms of armored vehicles on the battlefield. They developed war wagons, large wooden carts fortified with shields, armor, and cannons, to act as mobile fortresses during sieges and battles. These vehicles could carry soldiers, supplies, and heavy weaponry, protecting troops from arrows and enemy attacks. Medieval war wagons were surprisingly advanced for their time and paved the way for modern armored vehicles. 21. With over 5 million vending machines nationwide, Japan has one of the highest densities of these machines in the world, about 1 for every 23 people. These vending machines are not just for snacks and drinks. They sell an astonishing variety of items, including hot meals, fresh eggs, umbrellas, books, and even live crabs kept in carefully controlled environments, found on busy streets, rural roadsides, and even in remote areas. These machines are a testament to Japan's innovation and convenience-focused culture. They're so ubiquitous that they've become an iconic symbol of modern Japan, surprising and delighting visitors from around the globe. 22. Bacteria are often thought of as harmful, but did you know your skin actually relies on beneficial bacteria to stay healthy? These helpful microbes form a protective barrier that prevents dangerous pathogens from taking hold and causing infections. So your skin is essentially hosting a microscopic army that works 24/7 to keep you safe. 23. Believe it or not, you share about 60% of your DNA with bananas. That's right, a genetic connection with the fruit you grab for breakfast, blend into a smoothie, or snack on during the day. This surprising fact highlights just how interconnected all life on Earth really is. Even though you're nothing like a banana in the way you look or act, your DNA has more in common with it than you might think. So next time you peel a banana, take a moment to smile and think, we're kind of family. 24. Dolphins are incredible swimmers. But did you know that sloths can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes underwater? That's longer than most dolphins can. This impressive trick is a survival mechanism that allows sloths to hide from predators by submerging themselves and staying perfectly still in the water. 25. Despite their name, peanuts aren't nuts at all. They're actually legumes, just like beans, chickpeas, and lentils. Unlike true nuts, which grow on trees, peanuts develop underground in pods, earning them the nickname ground nuts. They belong to the same plant family as other legumes, making them more closely related to plants like soybeans than almonds or walnuts. So the next time you're spreading peanut butter on toast or snacking on roasted peanuts, you can impress your friends with the surprising fact that you're actually eating a legume, not a nut. 26. Unlike most fruits, strawberries are total rebels in the plant world. Their seeds grow on the outside of the fruit, about 200 of them on each strawberry, defying the usual seed on the inside rule. But that's not all. Despite their name, strawberries aren't even technically berries. True berries, like blueberries or grapes, develop from a single ovary and have seeds inside. Strawberries, on the other hand, come from multiple ovaries of the flower, making them an aggregate fruit. To top it off, they're more closely related to roses than to actual berries. 27. When caterpillars start munching on cabbage leaves, the plant doesn't just sit there helpless. It fights back in a brilliantly sneaky way. Cabbage releases a specific chemical signal into the air, almost like a distress call. But it's not calling for help from other plants. It's summoning parasitic wasps. These wasps pick up the signal, fly over, and lay their eggs on the caterpillars. When the eggs hatch, the wasp larvae feed on the caterpillars from the inside out, effectively turning them into living snacks. 28. The human body is surprisingly resilient, capable of surviving without several organs that might seem essential. You can live without a spleen, gallbladder, appendix, one kidney, one lung, and even significant portions of the liver and intestines. While losing these organs might require medical adjustments or lifestyle changes, such as a modified diet or extra precautions to avoid infections, it's remarkable how the body compensates. For example, the liver can regenerate, and a single kidney or lung can take over the work of both. This adaptability showcases the incredible design of the human body and its ability to survive against the odds. 29. Wombats, those cute and cuddly creatures from Australia, have a pretty wild party trick. They produce cube-shaped poop. Yep, you heard that right. The cube shape keeps their waste from rolling away, making it easier to mark their territory. Nature really knows how to combine efficiency with a bit of weirdness, doesn't it? 30. The heart of a blue whale is absolutely massive. It can weigh over 400 pounds, which is about the same as a small piano. Its arteries are so wide that a human could actually crawl through them with ease. And if that wasn't impressive enough, the sound of its heartbeat can be heard from up to 2 miles away underwater. The blue whale's heart is a perfect example of how incredible and surprising nature can be. 31. The idea of flying cars, once a concept reserved for sci-fi movies, is becoming a reality thanks to advancements in technology. Companies are actively developing vertical takeoff and landing vehicles that could soon transform the way we commute in crowded urban areas. These innovative machines are designed to bypass traffic by taking to the skies, making daily commutes faster and more efficient. While the thought of skipping the morning rush hour sounds great, it might mean getting stuck in the air instead of just on the road. With the development of these flying vehicles, the future of transportation could look very different in the coming decades. 32. From jasmine and basmati to black, red, and even purple rice, this humble grain boasts incredible diversity, with over 40,000 varieties grown worldwide. Each type has its own unique flavor, texture, and nutritional benefits. Jasmine rice is known for its fragrant aroma, while basmati offers a long, fluffy texture perfect for curries. Black and red rice are packed with antioxidants and bring a nutty nutty flavor to the table. These varieties fall into two main types: Oryza sativa, Asian rice, and Oryza glaberrima, African rice. The diversity of rice comes from centuries of cultivation in different climates and cultural regions, making it one of the most versatile and widely consumed crops on the planet. 33. Ever notice that you sometimes see little flashes, bright lights, or even colorful patterns when you sneeze? These are known as phosphenes, and they occur because the sudden pressure applied to your eyes during a sneeze stimulates the retinal cells. This pressure creates an optical illusion, causing your brain to perceive these flashes as light, even though there's no actual light source involved. So in a way, sneezing gives you your very own personal light show, an unexpected and colorful bonus every time you sneeze. It's your body's quirky way of showing you the wonders of your vision system at work. 34. Did you know that the proverb, "A cat has 9 lives," has an extended version which says, "For 3 he plays, for 3 he strays, and for the last 3 he stays." This proverb was inspired by the ancient Egyptians who worshipped cats and associated them with deities. They associated the number 9, combined with traditions from other cultures, and the high pain tolerance by the cats gave them the famous title of having 9 lives. 35. The bloop is one of the loudest underwater sounds ever recorded, detected by NOAA hydrophones in the Pacific Ocean in 1997. The sound was so powerful and unique that it could be heard over 3,000 miles away, sparking wild speculation about its origins. Some thought it might be a massive, undiscovered sea creature lurking in the depths, something straight out of a science fiction movie. Later, scientists linked the mysterious noise to icebergs breaking apart or scraping the ocean floor, a natural but rare phenomenon. However, even today, not everyone is convinced, and the exact details behind the bloop remain shrouded in mystery, keeping imaginations alive. 36. About 90% of animals in the deep ocean are bioluminescent, using their glow for survival. Jellyfish dazzle predators to escape. Anglerfish lure unsuspecting prey with glowing bait, and vampire squids flash their tentacles like emergency lights to ward off attackers. These adaptations transform the pitch-black depths into a surreal, glowing battlefield. And the wildest part? With over 95% of the ocean unexplored, we've barely scratched the surface of this luminous underworld. 37. The Great Barrier Reef, visible even from space, is the largest living structure on Earth, a sprawling underwater city made up of billions of tiny coral organisms. It's not just coral, though. It's home to thousands of marine species, from clownfish to sharks, all relying on this vibrant ecosystem. But here's the bad news. Rising ocean temperatures and pollution are causing coral bleaching, where stressed corals lose their color and life. Since 1995, we've already lost half of this natural wonder. Imagine an underwater metropolis slowly crumbling before our eyes. It's a warning sign for the entire planet. 38. At the bottom of the ocean, there are underwater lakes called brine pools, basically lakes within the sea. These pools are filled with super salty, toxic water, so dense that it doesn't mix with the surrounding seawater. They look like shimmering ponds on the ocean floor, but they're deadly. Any fish or creature that swims into them is poisoned almost instantly. It's like stumbling across a glowing, toxic jacuzzi in the middle of the deep sea. Beautiful to look at, but absolutely lethal. 39. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, scientists have found a massive underground reservoir of water trapped inside rocks. The crazy part? This hidden stash might hold 3 times more water than all the oceans on Earth combined. It's like the planet has its own secret water vault buried miles underground, far from our view and completely untouched. Imagine if we could tap into that. It could change everything we know about water and our planet. 40. Thanks to the insane pressure in the deep ocean, water can actually exist as a solid, liquid, and gas all at the same time, a strange and mind-bending phenomenon called the triple point of water. Under these extreme conditions, scientists have observed ice, liquid water, and water vapor coexisting in a perfectly balanced, almost magical state. It's like the hosting its own chemistry experiment, defying the usual rules of how we think about states of matter. Imagine a cube of ice floating in liquid water while steam hangs in the air, all at once. Crazy, right? 41. Some ocean creatures, like certain fish, have a special chemical in their blood called glycoproteins. These act as natural antifreeze, preventing their blood from freezing in icy, sub-zero waters. Glycoproteins work by blocking ice crystals from forming in their bodies, essentially allowing them to survive in freezing conditions. Think of it as their own biological winter survival hack, like a built-in antifreeze system. that keeps them swimming, even in the coldest ocean depths. Mother Nature really knows how to design an ice-proof system. 42. Ocean water naturally splits into hydrogen and oxygen under sunlight through a process called photoelectrolysis. This might sound like sci-fi, but it's real, a natural reaction powered by sunlight that splits water molecules into these two gases. Scientists are now exploring this process as a potential source of renewable energy, as the ocean essentially produces a constant flow of hydrogen gas. It's a natural, clean energy source that we're only beginning to understand. So the ocean isn't just waves and tides. It might also be the key to powering the future. 43. The saltiness of seawater, thanks to sodium chloride and other dissolved minerals, makes it much denser than fresh water. This is why floating in the ocean is so much easier than in a pool or lake. The salty mix provides swimmers with a natural floating boost, making it feel like you can effortlessly stay afloat with minimal effort. So the ocean's salty secret isn't just essential for marine life, it's also a swimmer's best friend. 44. Imagine a volcano so massive you could bury Mount Everest under it and still have room to spare. These underwater giants, like Mauna Kea in Hawaii, rise from the ocean floor and stretch thousands of meters high, but most of their bulk is hidden beneath the waves. Mauna Kea alone is over 33.5 feet from base to summit, making it the tallest mountain in the world if measured from its underwater base. It's like the ocean isn't just deep, it's hiding skyscrapers and mountain ranges that put the land's peaks to shame. The real world of giants isn't above sea level, it's down in the depths. 45. Napoleon Bonaparte was an accomplished military leader, but even he wasn't prepared for this. During a hunting trip in early 1800, his men organized a rabbit hunt to celebrate their victories. They brought a bunch of rabbits for the hunt, but when the cages were opened, the rabbits charged at the men instead of running away. The rabbits had been tame, not wild, and they mistook the humans for food sources. Napoleon and his men ended up being chased by a mob of rabbits. Talk about a historical oops. 46. Adolf Hitler was actually nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1939, just before the full-scale outbreak of World War II. The nomination came from a Swedish politician, and while it might sound impossible, it was very real at the time. However, once the true horrors of Nazi Germany became undeniable, the nomination was quickly withdrawn. Today, this remains one of the most bizarre, shocking, and surreal moments in modern history, proof that history can sometimes be stranger than fiction. 47. When the Apollo 11 crew set foot on the moon in 1969, they relied on computers with incredibly limited processing power to complete the historic mission. The onboard computers had just 64 kilobytes of memory, a fraction of what even the simplest devices have today. In comparison, today's average smartphone has processing power and memory many times that of the Apollo 11 computers. This proves that your pocket device is far more advanced and powerful than the technology that made moon landing history possible. 48. You might think a dead man's switch is a modern concept, but medieval inventors actually developed early versions of this idea. For instance, they used complex mechanisms in catapults and siege engines that would automatically disable or stop operations if the operator lost control or was killed in combat. This ingenious safety mechanism shows that even in the age of swords and castles, engineers were thinking about fail-safes. 49. Saffron, the vibrant red spice used in dishes like paella and risotto, is the most expensive spice in the world, costing up to $10,000 per pound. Why? Because it is harvested by hand from the crocus flower, and each crocus only blooms for a short period of time. To gather just 1 pound of dried saffron, you need to pluck the tiny red stigmas from 50 to 70,000 flowers. It's a labor-intensive process, making it as precious as it is flavorful. 50. Whether you're a professional dancer or just someone who loves to move to the beat at home, dancing is one of the most effective and enjoyable full-body workouts out there. It engages almost every muscle in your body, improves coordination, builds endurance, and increases flexibility, all while making you feel good in the process. Beyond the physical benefits, dancing has a profound impact on mental health. Studies show that dancing releases endorphins, the brain's natural feel-good chemicals, which can reduce stress, elevate your mood, and even improve cognitive function over time. 51. 51. Human bones are about 4 times stronger than concrete or steel, making them remarkably efficient at supporting the body's weight while remaining lightweight. Their unique structure combines strength and flexibility, enabling them to endure immense pressure during everyday activities like walking or jumping. However, this strength has a limit. Bones are more likely to break if hit at awkward angles or with sudden, sharp force. Despite this, their ability to heal and remodel themselves after a fracture is another testament to the incredible engineering of the human skeleton. 52. The University of Al-Qarawiyyin in Fez, Morocco, was founded in 859 AD and is still functioning today as one of the oldest universities in continuous operation in the world. It has been a major center for learning throughout history, with notable scholars like philosopher Averroes and mathematician Al-Khwarizmi studying and teaching there. Over the centuries, the university has played a key role in the development of various fields, including theology, natural sciences, mathematics, and law. Now that's dedication to education and knowledge. 53. Most of the matter in the Milky Way isn't visible to the naked eye or even powerful telescopes. About 85% of the mass of our galaxy is made up of dark matter, a mysterious substance that doesn't emit light but has gravitational effects on stars and galaxies. Scientists are still trying to understand exactly what dark matter is. 54. Scientists are actively working on brain-computer interfaces that could completely change the way we interact with music and technology. These advanced systems may one day allow you to listen to your favorite songs simply by thinking about them. No headphones, speakers, or even touch required. The idea is that your brainwaves could be connected to a device, letting you select tracks, adjust volume, or switch songs with just a thought. Researchers are also exploring how this technology could be used for other applications, like controlling smart devices, enhancing virtual reality experiences, or even helping people with paralysis regain mobility. 55. In 2008, a woman named Rajo Devi Lohan gave birth to a healthy baby girl at the age of 66 years old in India. While extremely rare and risky, her story is a testament to how advances in medical technology have expanded possibilities for conception later in life. This incredible feat shocked the world and proved that age isn't always a barrier to parenthood. 56. If you accidentally drop your phone in water, one of the most popular tricks to save it is to bury it in a container full of dry rice overnight. The rice acts like a natural desiccant, absorbing moisture from the phone's interior and potentially preventing further damage. While it's not a guaranteed fix, it's helped many people salvage their devices in a pinch. Just make sure to remove the battery and SIM card, if possible, before you try it, and avoid turning the phone on until you're sure it's completely dry. 57. Water is supposed to put out fires, but with the right chemical reaction, you can actually light a flame underwater. Chemicals like calcium carbide react with water to produce a flammable gas called acetylene. This gas is highly combustible, allowing a fire to burn even in the wettest conditions. So, with the right mix of chemistry and conditions, underwater fires become not just a scientific curiosity, but a real possibility, proving that water isn't always the end of fire. 58. Back in the 1830s, ketchup wasn't just a tasty topping for fries. It was actually marketed as a medicine. Dr. John Cook Bennett promoted it as a cure for indigestion, diarrhea, and other common ailments of the time, even selling ketchup pills as a medicinal remedy. While it might sound bizarre today, people back then genuinely believed in the health benefits of this tangy condiment. Fast forward to now, and most of us stick to using it for burgers, fries, and hot dogs. No prescriptions required. 59. This massive plant, known as the corpse flower, is famous for emitting a stench that smells like rotting flesh. While the smell might make humans cringe, it's incredibly effective at attracting pollinators like flies and beetles that thrive on decaying matter. These insects are drawn in by the foul odor, thinking they found a feast, only to end up helping the plant reproduce by spreading its pollen. The corpse flower blooms only once every few years, and when it does, the smell is so powerful it can be detected from several feet away. 60. The most goals scored in a single professional match is an astonishing one, 49-0, a record set in 2000, Toby the Team Azadima in Madagascar. This jaw-dropping scoreline wasn't a result of incredible skill or competition, but rather a form of protest. The losing team deliberately scored own goals 49 times in frustration over a refereeing decision in a previous match. This bizarre protest turned the game into one of the most unforgettable moments in football history. 61. The record for the longest hair ever recorded belongs to a woman from China named Xi Kuping. Her hair hair measured an incredible 18.5 feet long in 2004, making it one of the most impressive hair growth records in history. Ji Quping began growing her hair at the age of 13 and maintained it for decades, dedicating years of patience and care to achieve this astonishing feat. Her hair became so long that it required meticulous daily attention to keep it clean and untangled. 62. 3D food printers are here, and they're getting better every day. These machines can print foods like pizza, burgers, and plant-based meat substitutes by layering ingredients, much like how a traditional 3D printer works with plastic. The idea is that one day you could literally print your own dinner at home, no cooking required. Sure, the taste might still need some work, but it's a cool glimpse into how food and technology might come together in the future. 63. Cows have a unique digestive system that relies on fermentation to break down tough plant material in their stomachs, specifically in the rumen. This process produces methane, which the cows release through burping. In fact, cows are responsible for about 14% of all greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture globally. On average, a single cow can produce up to 220 pounds of methane each year, making livestock a significant contributor to climate change. 64. Originally, carrots were not the bright orange color we're familiar with today. They were typically purple, white, or yellow, and had a more earthy, sometimes bitter flavor. The orange variety we know today was deliberately cultivated by Dutch farmers in the 17th century as a tribute to William of Orange, a leader in the Dutch struggle for independence. By crossbreeding different strains of carrots, they developed a sweeter, more appealing orange version. This vibrant carrot quickly gained popularity and eventually replaced the original colors in most parts of the world. 65. Buttons might seem like a simple invention, but they have a history that goes back thousands of years. The first buttons were discovered in ancient Egyptian archaeological sites and were used as ornaments rather than fasteners. Over time, buttons evolved into functional clothing accessories, revolutionizing how we dress by allowing clothes to be securely fastened and adjusted. 66. In 2009, a soccer player named Shahidul Alam scored the fastest goal in history, only 2.5 seconds after kickoff. The ball was launched directly toward the opponent's goal, and in a blink, it was in the net. This insane speed is a testament to how lightning-fast professional soccer players can react. It's safe to say it set a record that left fans in absolute shock. 67. The University of Oxford, founded in 1096, is one of the oldest universities in the world. But here's the crazy part. The Aztec Empire, which dates back to the 15th century, was younger than Oxford. That means that when Oxford was already an established institution of learning, the Aztecs were just beginning to rise as a major civilization in Mesoamerica. Two completely different worlds at very different stages of development, yet both unforgettable in history. 68. The iconic blue jeans we know today were first created by Jacob Davis and Levi Strauss in 1873 as durable work pants for miners. The heavy-duty denim fabric and sturdy stitching made them perfect for the tough conditions of gold mining. Today, blue jeans are a worldwide fashion staple, worn for style and comfort, but they were once just practical workwear for hardworking miners. 69. Gold is rare because it's not easy to come by, but in the lab, scientists can actually turn other elements into gold through nuclear reactions. This process involves bombarding elements like lead with neutrons, which can trigger a transformation that creates gold. While it sounds like something straight out of alchemy, it's incredibly expensive, time-consuming, and inefficient. So don't quit your day job or start gathering leads to try your hand at turning it into gold just yet. 70. If you've ever enjoyed the rich, savory flavor of Worcestershire sauce, you might not have realized it has a surprising ingredient: anchovies. Yes, this iconic sauce contains fermented anchovies, which give it that signature umami taste. Even if you're not a fan of fish, chances are you've unknowingly eaten anchovies in your favorite dishes. They're hidden in plain sight, adding depth and flavor to everything from marinades to cocktails. Who knew fish could be so sneaky? 71. While curling might seem simple, it's actually a sport that combines physics, strategy, and teamwork. The goal is to guide your team's stones closest to the target using careful brushing, which affects ice friction to control the stone's movement. The sport has earned the nickname chess on ice because of the mind-boggling tactics and precise calculations involved. 72. The stomach is a powerhouse of digestion, producing strong acids like hydrochloric acid that can break down food and potentially destroy the stomach itself. These acids are so potent they can corrode metal, but your body has a clever defense mechanism. The stomach lining constantly regenerates regenerates, replacing itself every 3 to 4 days to protect against the acidic environment. Without this continuous renewal, the stomach would essentially digest itself, highlighting the remarkable balance your body maintains to keep you functioning. 73. Heat is actually a byproduct of metabolism, the process your body uses to turn food into energy. Believe it or not, in just one day, your body produces enough heat to cook a small meal, like a bowl of soup. This is all thanks to the energy your body uses to keep vital processes running, like keeping your heart beating, digesting food, and even maintaining body's temperature, even when you're just sitting still. 74. Carrying excess body weight can have some surprising effects, including on the way your voice sounds. Studies suggest that extra weight can alter the vibrations of your vocal cords and change airflow, which may impact the pitch, tone, and overall quality of your voice. This means that being overweight might actually influence how others perceive and hear your voice. Literally, it's a fascinating connection between body composition and sound. 75. Zionachana from India holds the record for having the largest family in the world. His family includes 39 wives, 94 children, and 33 grandchildren, all living together under one roof in a massive 100-room house. Managing daily life must be a logistical challenge, with so many people sharing meals, chores, and family events. Family reunions for this clan would likely require months of planning and an enormous amount of space. 76. If you fall into a black hole, you'd experience spaghettification, where gravitational forces stretch you into a long, thin shape like spaghetti. This is caused by extreme differences in gravity between your head and feet as you approach the black hole's singularity. While the experience would be terrifying, you wouldn't feel much before you were torn apart. 77. Narwhals are one of the ocean's most unique creatures. With their long, spiraling tusks, they might look like something out of a fairy tale, but those tusks are actually modified teeth. They can grow up to 10 feet long, making them incredibly impressive in size. Scientists believe narwhals use their tusks for a variety of purposes, like sensing their surroundings, fighting off rivals, or even showing off to potential mates. 78. If you've made it this far, consider buying me a coffee. It really helps with putting up with all these nights just to create this content for you guys. Thanks a lot for supporting me on this journey. 79. You've probably used a microwave to heat up leftovers, but did you know it was invented by pure accident? In 1945, engineer Percy Spencer was working with radar equipment when he noticed that a candy bar in his pocket had melted. This discovery led to the development of the microwave oven, forever changing how we cook. So the next time you make popcorn in under 3 minutes, you can thank melted candy. 80. Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, scientists have actually discovered that certain chemical compounds can extract water from the air by reacting with humidity. One method uses compounds like calcium chloride or other specialized chemical reactions to pull moisture from the atmosphere. This breakthrough could one day help solve global water shortages by creating clean drinking water straight from thin air. It's like turning the very air we breathe into a life-saving resource. 81. The Great Wall of China is so massive and sprawling that it's the only man-made structure visible from space with the naked eye. Stretching over 13,000 miles and winding through mountains, valleys, and deserts, it's an awe-inspiring testament to ancient engineering. Its sheer scale and iconic zigzagging path have made it a symbol of human achievement. 2. The very first version of a bicycle was called a dandy horse and was invented back in 1817. Unlike modern bikes, it didn't have pedals. Riders would push themselves forward by walking or running with their feet while seated on the bike. Pedals were added much later, turning the dandy horse into what we now consider a classic bicycle design. Today, it might look like a scooter with style, but back then, it was revolutionary as a way to get around. 83. You might not think of tacos when you think of war, but during the American Civil War, Mexican soldiers and American troops shared recipes and flavors. Corn tortillas and beans became popular with soldiers because they were cheap, filling, and easy to prepare in camps. In fact, food traditions like tacos made their way into military diets and American cuisine as soldiers brought their experiences home from war. 84. In 1980, IBM introduced the first 1 gigabyte hard drive, but it was far from the compact devices we're used to today. It was a massive machine that weighed over 500 pounds and took up the space of a refrigerator. Storage back then wasn't just bulky, it was also an expensive luxury. Fast forward to now, and you can carry multiple terabytes of storage in your pocket with modern devices. It's incredible to see how far technology has come in just a few decades. 85. Sumo wrestlers rely on a traditional stew called chanko nabe to build muscle and maintain their size. This high-protein dish contains meat, fish, vegetables, and tofu, and wrestlers eat massive portions multiple times a day to bulk up for competitions. Many wrestlers will eat 6,000 to 8,000 calories a day, and they often train intensely to balance this diet with strength and conditioning. 86. While you might assume bicycles were a modern invention, medieval people experimented with pedal-powered transportation. The dandy horse was an early form of a bicycle-like vehicle. Essentially, it was a wooden frame that riders pushed with their feet on the ground to propel themselves forward, kind of like a primitive kick scooter. These were popular among the wealthy elite as both recreational and practical transportation methods. 87. That constant leg bouncing, tapping your pen, or shifting in your chair isn't just a habit. It's a way your body burns calories. This phenomenon is called non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Even small movements like fidgeting can add up over time, helping you burn up to 350 extra calories a day without breaking a sweat at the gym. 88. The human brain, despite its compact size, is a powerhouse of electrical activity, operating on about 20 watts of power, enough to light up a small bulb. This energy drives the communication between billions of neurons, enabling everything from your thoughts and emotions to your movements and reflexes. What's even more impressive is how efficiently the brain uses this power, working tirelessly 24/7 without pause. It's a reminder of how extraordinary this organ is, managing both conscious and unconscious functions with such minimal energy consumption. 89. The wood frog has a truly mind-blowing superpower. It can survive being frozen solid for months during the winter. When temperatures drop, its body freezes completely and its heartbeat stops. But when spring comes and the temperature rises, the wood frog thaws out. Its heart starts beating again, and it goes about life as if being frozen solid for months was no big deal. 90. Back in the 18th century in Europe, potatoes were so valuable, they were actually used as a form of currency. During times of scarcity, trading potatoes was far easier and more practical than relying on traditional money. Imagine trading a sack of potatoes for a loaf of bread, or even a shiny new coat. Economic systems back then were definitely a little more root-based. It's a quirky reminder of how important crops were to survival and trade in earlier times. 91. The very first video game, Tennis for Two, was created in 1958 by physicist William Higginbotham. It was a simple two-player tennis simulation displayed on an oscilloscope, essentially a very early analog version of Pong. While primitive, this game paved the way for all modern video games, proving that innovation often starts with simple ideas. 92. The average person spends over 37,000 hours driving in their lifetime. That's equivalent to about 4 years of your life spent behind the wheel. Think about it. Over the course of a typical life, you could have used that time to explore new hobbies, learn a new language, or binge-watch thousands of hours of your favorite shows. Driving isn't just a part of the daily commute, it becomes a huge chunk of your life, with countless hours spent navigating highways, city streets, and back roads. 93. The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896 holds the record for the shortest war in history. The conflict occurred between the Sultan of Zanzibar and the British on August 27, 1896. The Sultan refused to step down after British demands, leading to a bombardment. After just 38 minutes, the Sultan surrendered, and the war was over. That's shorter than most online arguments. 94. The iconic block-dropping game Tetris isn't just a classic puzzler. It was actually used by NASA to help astronauts prepare for spatial reasoning in zero gravity. Playing Tetris improves spatial visualization, which is crucial for tasks like navigating spacecraft or assembling parts in a 3D environment. Who knew clearing blocks could be part of space exploration prep? 95. After intense exercise, your body works overtime to repair muscle, restore oxygen levels, and regulate energy. This process burns extra calories. This means that even hours after you finish your workout, your body continues to burn fat and calories. So in reality, the workout doesn't stop even after you leave the gym. 96. On a scorching day with temperatures above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the sidewalk can get hot enough to cook an egg, but not as quickly as a frying pan. Concrete absorbs heat, but it doesn't retain it as efficiently as metal, meaning it takes a lot longer to fully cook the egg. This means that while the egg may begin to cook, the process is slow and uneven, often leaving parts of the egg still raw. 97. The average adult has about 3 to 4 grams of iron in their entire body. Most of this iron is found in your blood, where it's a key part of hemoglobin, the molecule responsible for carrying oxygen to all your cells. And get this tiny amount of iron would actually be enough to make a single 3-inch nail. Iron is essential for keeping your body functioning properly, as it plays a major role in oxygen transport, energy production, and overall health. 98. A study has shown that mothers can recognize their own baby's cry even when surrounded by other crying babies. This unique ability is believed to be a built-in survival mechanism, allowing parents to quickly respond to their child's needs even in a chaotic, noisy environment. It's fascinating how nature has equipped parents with this intuitive connection, proving that the bond between parent and child goes far deeper than words. 99. When James Naismith invented basketball in 1891, the game was very different. Players used a soccer ball, and instead of dribbling, they simply passed the ball between teammates to try and score. The first hoops were actually just peach baskets, and the game was played with a much slower pace than modern-day basketball. The evolution into fast-paced action came much later. 100. Today, pink is often associated with femininity, but in the 18th century, it was actually considered a strong masculine color. Men's clothing often featured pink shades because it was linked to strength and boldness. It wasn't until the early 20th century that societal norms flipped the script and began associating pink with women's fashion. 101. Regular exercise has been shown to lengthen telomeres, which are the protective caps at the ends of your DNA strands. Telomeres naturally shorten as we age, but exercise can slow or even reverse this process. This means that staying physically active doesn't just improve your body, it can make your cells younger at a molecular level. If you still haven't figured out what fact among all these was fake, let me give you a hint. It's related to China. With that said, we've arrived at the end of this video. Comment below what the fake fact was. It was a long journey, but thanks for sticking out until the end. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, as it helps me create more content like this. Until next time, the useless guy.
There's a town in the United States that has been burning for 62 years, and will continue to burn for another 250 years. But more on that later on, because I'm about to fill your heads with facts so random and shocking, you'll never run out of topics to talk about in front of your friends. And this time, I'm going to try and hide 2 fake facts in the video. Will you be able to spot it? Let's start. People sometimes underestimate how massive Brazil really is. Being the 5th largest country in the world, Brazil is larger than the United States. Considering that we remove Alaska from the picture, it's closer to Africa than to its own westernmost point. It has a population of 220 million, much larger than Russia, the biggest country in the world, having only 144 million people present. If we take another look at it, you notice that it covers almost half of South America, 48% to be exact. So the next time someone asks about Brazil, tell them it's insanely big. Speaking of Brazil, we can't just leave out the most iconic thing about it now, can we? The Amazon rainforest. You might have heard that the Amazon rainforest produces about 20% of the world's oxygen, earning it the nickname the lungs of the earth. However, a shocking twist is that the rainforest consumes almost all the oxygen it produces through respiration and decay. This means its critical role lies in storing carbon dioxide rather than being an oxygen supplier for the planet. The shortest commercial flight in the world was between Westray and Papa Westray in Scotland, covering just 1.7 miles. The flight lasted only 1.5 to 2 minutes, making it faster than buckling your seatbelt. Operated by Logan Air, the route was vital for connecting these remote islands, saving residents from a 1-hour boat trip. The plane used was a small Britain-Norman Islander, designed for short regional flights. Despite its brief duration, passengers still followed standard boarding procedures, proving that even the shortest journeys required formalities. Quick reality check: when was the last time you thought about your online security? Yeah, I thought so. Every time you shop, pay bills, or check your emails on public Wi-Fi, you're opening yourself up to hackers and data thieves. It's not just paranoia, it's reality. That's why I use NordVPN. Here's how it works. NordVPN encrypts your internet traffic, meaning your private info, like passwords, credit card details, or sensitive emails, stays private. It's like locking your front door, but for your online life. Plus, it hides your IP address, so advertisers and nosy websites can't track you. And here's the kicker. With over 5,000 servers in 60+ countries, you can connect from virtually anywhere. Want to watch shows only available in the UK? Click a button and you're there. It's that simple. Try it risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Click the link in the description and start browsing smarter, safer, and stress-free today. Back to the video. The Darien Gap, a 100-mile stretch of dense jungle between Panama and Colombia, is infamous for being nearly impossible to cross due to its harsh conditions. The region is covered with impenetrable rainforests, steep mountains, and fast-flowing rivers, making overland travel extremely challenging. Wildlife like venomous snakes, jaguars, and crocodiles add to the dangers, while the high humidity, extreme temperatures, and constant rain make survival survival difficult. There are no roads or bridges linking the two countries, leaving only narrow, treacherous paths. Additionally, the area is notorious for drug trafficking and guerrilla activity, who use the region as a hideout and control various routes, making it extremely risky for travelers. More than 80% of the United States population lives in the eastern side of the country. Taking it a step further, out of the 20%, 9% live in the 3 far western states, while only 11% of the population lives in the remaining regions. But why? You see, the whole region gets almost no rain, due to the high mountains cutting off the clouds from the west, and high winds from Mexico Gulf blowing them away from the area, making it unsuitable for irrigation. And because this area is landlocked, resulting in lower opportunities, people tend to migrate towards more coastal areas like New York, which has a slight difference with the whole population residing in this area. Did you know that the world's most expensive coffee, Kopi Luwak, is made from beans eaten and excreted by civet cats, a process that supposedly enhances flavor, though it can cost up to $600 per pound. Coffee is the world's second most traded commodity after oil, highlighting just how much people love their daily brew. Instant coffee, surprisingly, has been around since 1771, long before becoming a staple during World War I to energize soldiers. Meanwhile, Brazil reigns as the coffee king, producing about 40% of the world's supply and holding the title of largest coffee producer for over 150 years. Speaking of coffee, if you're enjoying this video and want to support the channel, consider buying me a coffee. Link is in the description below. In the event of cabin depressurization in airplanes, the oxygen masks that drop down provide oxygen for about 12 to 20 minutes. This might sound short, but it's enough time for the pilot to descend to a safer altitude where normal breathing is possible. At cruising altitude, the air is too thin to support human life for long, so the aircraft quickly descends to around 10,000 feet, where the cabin becomes breathable again without supplemental oxygen. The limited oxygen supply is carefully calculated as part of the safety system. While it may seem alarming, this setup is designed to ensure passengers remain safe during emergencies until conditions stabilize. The Kayan tribes, especially the Kayan Lawi, reside in the remote mountainous regions of Myanmar and Thailand. Their way of life has remained largely unchanged for centuries, with a strong reliance on agriculture and traditional crafts. The Kayan people have maintained their distinct language, customs, and spiritual beliefs, which set them apart from surrounding communities. However, in recent years, the influence of modernity and tourism has started to impact their culture. The influx of visitors has led to changes in their lifestyle, economic activities, and even social structures, challenging the tribe's long-standing traditions. Kayan women are known for wearing brass coils around their necks from a young age, gradually adding more as they grow older. This practice, believed to elongate their necks, actually compresses the bones, not lengthening them. Over time, the pressure from the coils results in a neck that can reach up to 15 inches in length. The coils are heavy, and prolonged wear can cause discomfort, pain, and muscle weakness. This tradition is deeply embedded in Kayan culture, symbolizing femininity, maturity, and social status within the tribe, though it is often misunderstood by outsiders. Each commercial plane is struck by lightning roughly once a year on average. Despite the potential danger, modern aircraft are designed to withstand lightning strikes. The aircraft's exterior, often made from conductive materials like aluminum, allows the lightning's energy to be safely redirected along the surface and out through the tail. Planes are also equipped with lightning protection systems to prevent damage to critical components. While lightning strikes can cause minor surface damage, they rarely lead to any serious consequences, and pilots are trained to handle these situations, ensuring passenger safety during such events. Yemen is facing the world's worst humanitarian crisis, with over 24 million people, or about 80% of the population, in urgent need of humanitarian assistance. The crisis stems from years of brutal civil war, leading to widespread famine, disease outbreaks, and the collapse of basic services like healthcare and education. The conflict has also caused millions of people to be displaced, with many living in overcrowded conditions. Over 20 million people suffer from food insecurity, while cholera and COVID-19 further exacerbate the public health crisis. International aid efforts continue to struggle against the ongoing violence and logistical challenges. To reduce the risk of both pilots being incapacitated by food poisoning, airlines require them to eat different meals during flights. This precaution ensures that if one pilot falls ill from food contamination, the other will still be capable of flying the plane safely. The practice is part of broader safety protocols designed to minimize risks during flights. In addition to different meals, pilots are often prohibited from consuming certain foods or drinks before takeoff. Airlines also monitor pilot health carefully, providing a range of safety measures to ensure they are fit to operate the aircraft during long-haul flights. Yemen is widely regarded as the birthplace of coffee. The port city of Mocha was a key center for the coffee trade during the 15th century, where beans were first exported to Europe and beyond. Yemeni coffee is known for its unique and complex flavor profile, often described as rich, full-bodied, and slightly earthy with hints of chocolate and spice. Traditional methods of cultivation and processing, including sun-drying and hand-picking, contribute to its distinctive taste. Despite Despite challenges such as ongoing conflict, Yemeni coffee remains highly prized by connoisseurs around the world, with mocha coffee continuing to symbolize Yemen's deep coffee heritage. Bali's Mount Agung, an active stratovolcano, has erupted several times throughout history, with the most devastating eruption occurring in 1963. This eruption killed over 1,000 people and caused widespread destruction, including the destruction of temples and villages. The volcano's most recent eruptions occurred in 2017 and 2019, triggering evacuation efforts and airline disruptions. Located in the northeastern part of the island, Mount Agung remains one of Bali's most iconic features, but it is also a constant reminder of the island's volcanic risk. Authorities closely monitor seismic activity, as any significant eruption could impact the island's population and tourism industry. The Ubud monkey forest in Bali is a sanctuary for over 600 long-tailed macaques, a species native to Southeast Asia. This popular tourist destination is not just a wildlife reserve, but also a spiritual site housing 3 sacred temples. The monkeys are considered sacred protectors of the forest, deeply rooted in Balinese Hindu beliefs. However, their behavior can be unpredictable. They are notorious for stealing items like sunglasses, hats, and snacks from unsuspecting visitors. Despite this, the forest is a vital ecological and cultural site, promoting conservation while offering insight into the harmonious relationship between Balinese culture and nature. In the Middle Ages, beer was a dietary staple for people of all ages and social classes. It was often consumed as a safer alternative to contaminated water, as the brewing process killed harmful bacteria. Known as liquid bread, beer provided essential calories, carbohydrates, and nutrients, making it a vital source of sustenance, especially during times of food scarcity. Monasteries became centers of brewing expertise, refining recipes and techniques. Beer's role extended beyond nutrition. It was central to social gatherings and celebrations. With low alcohol content, it was even consumed during meals, highlighting its importance in medieval daily life. Speaking of beers, let's talk more about it. In medieval Europe, beer was a common beverage because it was safer to drink than water, which was often contaminated. The brewing process involved boiling, which killed harmful bacteria, making beer a more reliable choice for hydration. It wasn't just a drink, but also a source of nutrition, often referred to as liquid bread due to its high calorie and nutrient content. Beer was consumed by all ages, including children, and was a staple in daily life. It played a vital role in the diet, particularly during times of food scarcity, offering both sustenance and safety from waterborne diseases. In ancient Egypt, workers, including those constructing the pyramids, were often paid in beer rations as part of their wages. Each worker received up to 4 liters of beer per day, which provided hydration and essential nutrients. Beer was brewed using barley and emmer wheat, creating a thick, nutritious beverage that was a vital part of the Egyptian diet. It was so important that it was included in religious rituals and offerings to the gods, highlighting its significance in both the economy and cultural practices of ancient Egypt. Pirates were known for their surprisingly democratic practices, a stark contrast to the hierarchical naval systems of their time. Crew members had the power to elect their captains based on leadership skills and vote on important decisions affecting the ship's operations. Captains could even be replaced if the crew deemed them ineffective. Loot distribution was another area of fairness, with shares divided according to each member's role and contributions. This system ensured loyalty and minimized internal conflict. Pirates also followed strict codes of conduct, with punishments for violations, demonstrating an organized approach to maintaining order in their lawless environment. While we're on the topic of pirates, the iconic walking the plank scene often seen in movies was rarely practiced by real pirates. Instead, pirates were known to employ much more brutal methods of punishment. One common fate for mutineers or enemies was marooning, where the victim was left stranded on a deserted island with minimal supplies. This was often seen as a more effective deterrent, as survival chances were slim. Pirates also used torture, keel hauling, or even executions when needed. While walking the plank might be dramatic, marooning was a far more realistic and feared consequence of crossing a pirate's crew. Kidnapping for human trafficking is a widespread global issue, with over 24.9 million people estimated to be trafficked worldwide. Women and children are the most vulnerable, often targeted for sexual exploitation, forced labor, and illegal adoptions. Traffickers use various methods to recruit victims, including abduction, manipulation, and deceit. Countries with weak law enforcement or political instability are often hotspots for trafficking activities. Victims may be transported across borders, making it difficult for authorities to track or intervene. The human trafficking industry generates billions annually, contributing to the suffering of millions, with many victims enduring lifelong trauma. While high-profile kidnappings often dominate the news, statistics reveal that most kidnappings are premeditated and involve someone the victim knows, such as family members, friends, or acquaintances. In fact, around 70% of kidnappings are committed by people close to the victim, often for personal gain, custody disputes, or revenge. These kidnappers may exploit relationships to manipulate or coerce the victim. Kidnapping can also occur during domestic violence situations or as a result of financial struggles, where individuals believe they can secure ransom or leverage the victim for their own benefit. Turtles, some of the longest living creatures, can survive over 100 years and have been around for over 200 million years, outlasting dinosaurs. Remarkably, certain species, like the Fitzroy River turtle, can breathe through their butts, absorbing oxygen via their cloaca while submerged for long periods. Sea turtles, known for their incredible navigation skills, can travel thousands of miles across oceans and return to the same beach where they were born. Additionally, thanks to their slow metabolism, some turtles can survive for months without food, particularly during hibernation. These unique abilities make turtles one of nature's most fascinating creatures. Seabeds, the ocean floor beneath us, hold some surprising secrets. Over 80% of the Earth's ocean floors remain unexplored, making them one of the least understood ecosystems on the planet. The Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the world's oceans, reaches about 36,000 feet, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Seabeds are home to a staggering variety of life, including bizarre creatures like the immortal jellyfish and bioluminescent organisms. They also contain vast reserves of natural resources such as oil, gas, and rare minerals, some of which could become crucial in the future as demand for these resources grows. Sharks have existed for over 400 million years, predating dinosaurs and trees, and have survived 5 mass extinction events. Their skeletons are made of cartilage, not bone, which enhances flexibility and speed. Sharks continuously grow and lose teeth, shedding tens of thousands in a lifetime, ensuring they always have sharp replacements. Some species, like lantern and swell sharks, are bioluminescent, glowing in the dark to blend with light filtering from above. Their remarkable adaptations, such as streamlined bodies and sensory organs that detect electrical fields, make them one of the ocean's most efficient and enduring predators. Centralia, Pennsylvania, is a near ghost town where an underground coal mine fire has been burning since 1960. Fire started when trash in a mine pit was set alight and accidentally ignited coal seams below. Despite efforts to extinguish it, the fire spread and became uncontrollable, and it's estimated to keep burning for another 250 years. Toxic gases like carbon monoxide seep through cracks in the ground, and temperatures in some areas are hot enough to melt tires. The town was largely evacuated in the 1980s, leaving only a handful of residents who refused to leave despite the dangers. Skunks defend themselves with a highly accurate spray of sulfur-based compounds called thiols, which can cause temporary blindness. They can spray targets up to 10 feet away but use it sparingly, as it takes about 10 days to regenerate. Evolved as a defense against predators like wolves and bears, skunks warn first by stamping their feet. Surprisingly, skunks are immune to snake venom, allowing them to prey on venomous snakes like rattlesnakes without harm. Their potent defense mechanism ensures their survival, making them one of nature's most uniquely equipped mammals. If you're enjoying these videos, don't forget to subscribe, and let me know your suggestions for new videos. Blankets date back over 12,000 years, with early versions made from felted wool during the Ice Age to keep people warm. Modern weighted blankets, used for reducing anxiety, are based on deep pressure therapy techniques. Electric blankets were introduced in the 1920s but posed fire hazards until safety standards improved. Wool blankets, known for their insulation and fire resistance, have been used by militaries worldwide. In some cultures, such as among Native American tribes, blankets hold ceremonial and symbolic value, often representing honor or status. The evolution of blankets reflects advancements in materials, safety, and their role beyond just warmth. During the early 1900s, mustaches were believed to harbor germs, leading to fears that they could spread diseases. People thought facial hair could trap food particles, bacteria, and saliva, making it unsanitary. As a result, a mustache spoon was invented, which had a special lip that allowed men with mustaches to eat without their facial hair touching the food. This spoon became a popular accessory among men with thick mustaches. By the way, the longest mustache ever recorded measured 14 feet and was grown by Ram Singh Chauhan from India. It took over 30 years of care to reach this length. The human brain is about 75% water, and while it only makes up 2% of your body weight, it consumes about 20% of the body's total energy. It's capable of storing around 2.5 petabytes of data, which equals about 3 million hours of TV shows. Interestingly, the brain is more active during sleep than when awake, with neurons firing throughout dreams and deep sleep. Dehydration can negatively affect cognitive performance, highlighting how crucial hydration is for optimal brain function. Despite its small size, the brain's efficiency in handling vast amounts of information is truly remarkable. Curtains, dating back to ancient Egypt, not only provide privacy but also serve practical functions. Heavy curtains can reduce heat loss by up to 10% and act as sound barriers, reducing noise by up to 7 decibels. However, they can also accumulate dust, allergens, and bacteria, affecting air quality. In the early 20th century, curtains became a symbol of privacy, with some countries even passing laws regulating their use in public spaces. Glass bottles dating back to 1500 BC were originally handmade and used for storing perfumes and medicines. Today, they are 100% recyclable and can be reused indefinitely without losing quality. Despite this, it can take up to 1 million years for a glass bottle to decompose in a landfill. The modern glass bottle machine, invented in 1903, revolutionized mass production and changed the packaging industry forever. Speaking of perfumes, they date back to ancient Egypt, where it was used for religious ceremonies and personal fragrance. The first modern perfume as we know it was created in the 18th century. Perfumes are made by combining essential oils, alcohol, and water, with the average bottle containing hundreds of ingredients. The most expensive perfume ever sold was Shumuk, valued at $1.29 million. Interestingly, scent is the only sense directly linked to memory, making fragrance a powerful emotional trigger. Pluto, about 1/6 the size of Earth's moon, orbits the sun from a highly tilted eccentric path, taking 248 years to complete one revolution. Its thin atmosphere, mostly nitrogen and methane, expands near the sun and freezes when far away. The dwarf planet has 5 moons, including Charon, and features mountains made of water ice, along with frozen ocean-like surfaces. Despite its irregular orbit crossing Neptune's, gravitational dynamics prevent collisions, maintaining a unique position in our solar system. The exoplanet 55 Cancri E, located 40 light-years away in the constellation Cancer, is often referred to as a super-Earth. It is twice the size of Earth and has 8 times its mass. What makes it shocking is its extreme conditions. Temperatures on the surface can reach over 3,900 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt metals. It is thought to have a carbon-rich atmosphere, potentially including diamonds, and may have an ocean of lava instead of water. Its incredibly close orbit around its star means it completes a year in just 18 hours. Your ears never stop growing due to cartilage, and they naturally protect you by producing earwax, which traps dust, bacteria, and particles. The earwax is part of a self-cleaning system that is aided by jaw movement when talking or chewing. Additionally, the ears are considered an erogenous zone, with their sensitivity to touch and stimulation increasing arousal, as they are packed with nerve endings that respond to gentle caressing, kissing, or whispering. Bricks, dating back to 7000 BC, are one of the oldest building materials still in use. Ancient civilizations like the Mesopotamians made bricks from mud and straw, while the Egyptians used fired clay for monumental structures. The Great Wall of China and Red Fort in India are notable brick-built landmarks, with the latter using over 1 million bricks. Bricks are energy efficient, retaining heat and keeping interiors warm in winter and cool in summer. They've played a critical role in architecture for thousands of years and continue to shape construction worldwide. Oranges, a hybrid between a pomelo and mandarin, originated in Southeast Asia around 4,000 years ago. Today, Brazil and the US are the largest producers, particularly in Florida. While often consumed for their high vitamin C content, orange rinds actually offer more fiber than the flesh and are rich in antioxidants that help fight inflammation and boost heart health. Originally a luxury item in the 19th century, orange juice is now a global staple. Beyond vitamin C, oranges also provide folate, fiber, and potassium, making them vital for overall immune and cardiovascular health. Cucumbers are 95% water, making them highly hydrating and a low-calorie snack. Technically a fruit, they belong to the melon family, which includes watermelon and cantaloupe. They can self-pollinate due to their ability to produce both male and female flowers. In addition to their refreshing qualities, cucumbers have long been used in beauty treatments, especially for soothing puffy eyes and irritated skin. They also contain antioxidants like beta-carotene and flavonoids, which help fight free radicals, offering more health benefits than just hydration. Now that you mention watermelons, it's made up of 92% water, is a type of berry called a pepo, and belongs to the cucumber family. It contains lycopene, an antioxidant that benefits heart health, and its seeds, often discarded, are edible and full of nutrients. The rind, usually thrown away, has high levels of citrulline, which can improve blood flow and reduce muscle soreness. Historically, watermelon was significant enough in ancient Egypt to be found in tombs, highlighting its long-standing cultural and nutritional value. The Akashi Kaikyo Bridge in Japan, the world's longest suspension bridge with a main span of 2,000 meters, took 12 years to build at a cost of $4.3 billion. It was designed to withstand earthquakes, including the 1995 Kobe earthquake, with seismic isolators and flexible joints. The bridge can endure winds up to 180 miles per hour and features 2 towers standing 282 meters tall. Built to handle tidal forces and temperature-induced elongation, it's an engineering marvel that connects the Japanese islands of Honshu and Shikoku. Speaking of bridges, let's talk about them some more. The Tower Bridge in London, completed in 1894, is a combined bascule and suspension bridge that spans the River Thames. It took 8 years years to build at a cost of 1.84 million euros. The bridge's 2 towers are 65 meters tall and were designed to withstand the massive weight of the bascules, which rise to allow ships to pass. Interestingly, the bridge was initially painted a chocolate brown color before being repainted in its iconic blue and white in the 1970s. The bascules still operate using hydraulic power, first powered by steam. The Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge in China is the world's longest bridge, stretching over 164 kilometers across the Yangtze River Delta. Completed in 2010 and opened in 2011, it took 4 years and 10,000 workers to build. The bridge was designed to withstand extreme weather, including high winds and earthquakes, and it is primarily used by the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway. Remarkably, it's longer than the Great Wall of China, and its construction required over 10,000 tons of steel, enough to build a bridge halfway around the world. That's enough about the bridges. Let's talk about something weird. Sea cucumbers are fascinating creatures with some truly shocking traits. Despite their name, they're not vegetables but marine animals. They have the ability to expel their internal organs as a defense mechanism when threatened, only to regenerate them later. Some species can also liquefy their bodies to escape predators, effectively turning into a gooey, shapeless mass. Sea cucumbers play a crucial role in ocean ecosystems by filtering sediment and recycling nutrients. Interestingly, their bodies are used in traditional medicine, and they are a delicacy in many Asian countries, often prized for their texture rather than taste. A typical cumulus cloud might appear light and fluffy, but it can weigh over 1 million pounds. This is because clouds are made up of tiny water droplets or ice crystals that cling together in the atmosphere. These droplets are suspended in the air by updrafts, which keep them from falling to the ground. Despite their massive weight, clouds float due to the air's upward force, which balances the gravitational pull. Interestingly, if all the water in a cloud were to fall at once, it would create heavy rainfall, leading to potential storms and flooding. In 2023, scientists discovered that the average human brain contains exactly 7.6 billion neurons, each firing at a rate of 3.4 billion times per second, making it the fastest processing organ in the body. This breakthrough came after a decade-long study involving over 5,000 researchers from 14 countries. The team also found that the brain's electrical activity accounts for nearly 30% of the body's total energy consumption, despite the brain only making up about 2% of total body weight. This discovery could revolutionize how we understand human cognition and neural networks. The useless mug is finally on sale. Get yours now. Links in the description. SIM cards do more than just store your phone number and carrier information. They also keep essential data like contacts, SMS text messages, and even security keys that enable encrypted communications for mobile banking or two-factor authentication. The card contains a microprocessor that performs cryptographic operations to ensure secure communication with the mobile network. In some cases, SIM cards also store application data, such as settings for mobile apps or email accounts. While the storage capacity is limited compared to modern smartphones, SIM cards still play a vital role in the security and functionality of mobile devices. SIM cards, introduced in 1991 by Siemens, are crucial for connecting mobile phones to networks, storing data like phone numbers, contacts, and text messages. Despite the rise of eSIM technology, physical SIM cards remain essential in many countries with less advanced infrastructure. They have a limited lifespan of about 10 years before physical wear or network changes can cause them to stop working. SIM cards are vulnerable to cloning and hacking, such as SIM swapping, which can lead to identity theft and account hijacking. Dragonflies are fascinating insects with 6 legs, but they can't walk on land. Instead, they use their legs to catch prey mid-air while flying. Dragonflies are incredibly skilled hunters, capable of catching their prey with remarkable precision thanks to their specialized legs and excellent eyesight. They can fly at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour and are known for their agility, able to hover, dart, and even fly backward. These insects are also essential for controlling insect populations, especially mosquitoes, as they feed on them. With a lifespan of a few months, dragonflies primarily live in aquatic environments during their nymph stage. Cats purr not only when they are content, but also to heal bones and tissues. This soothing sound is produced by the rapid contraction and relaxation of muscles within a cat's larynx, creating vibrations that resonate throughout their body. Studies show that the frequency of a cat's purr promotes bone growth and accelerates healing. Purring is also thought to reduce stress and lower blood pressure. Interestingly, cats will often purr when they're injured or in pain, suggesting it may help them recover. Beyond health, purring is also a communication tool between cats and humans. Early computer memory technology used tiny magnetic rings, known as ferrite cores, to store data. These rings could be magnetized in different directions to represent binary data, with each ring corresponding to a single bit. This method of storing data was developed in the 1940s and used in the first mainframe computers. Ferrite core memory was durable, fast, and relatively inexpensive compared compared to previous technologies like vacuum tubes. It remained in use until the 1970s, when semiconductor memory began to replace it due to its higher density and lower power consumption, marking a major leap in computing technology. Octopuses are fascinating creatures, known for their intelligence and unique life cycle. They lay thousands of eggs, which can range from a few hundred to over 100,000, depending on the species. After laying eggs, the female often guards them fiercely, not eating during this period. She uses her time to protect the eggs and aerate them by gently blowing water over them. Tragically, after the eggs hatch, the mother usually dies, a process known as senescence. This cycle ensures that her energy is devoted entirely to the next generation, though it leaves no room for survival after reproduction. Antarctica is the largest desert in the world, but not for the reasons most people think. Unlike typical deserts, which are hot and sandy, Antarctica is cold and covered in ice. It receives very little precipitation, less than 2 inches of rain or snow per year in most areas, making it a desert by definition. Despite its freezing temperatures, it's also home to unique ecosystems, such as penguin colonies, and vast glaciers that contain about 60% of the world's fresh water. Its extreme conditions make it one of the harshest places for life, yet some organisms manage to survive in its frigid environment. Scotland's national animal is the unicorn, a mythical creature symbolizing purity and strength. The unicorn has been a part of Scottish heraldry for centuries and was officially adopted as a symbol in the 12th century under King William I. It's believed that the unicorn represents the Scottish people's independence, as the creature was considered impossible to tame. Interestingly, the unicorn appears on Scotland's royal coat of arms, alongside the Lion of England, reflecting the long-standing rivalry and unity between the two nations. The choice of the unicorn is unique, as most countries have real animals as national symbols. Color blindness affects approximately 8% of men and 0.5% of women worldwide, with red-green color blindness being the most common form. People with color vision deficiency often rely on memory, patterns, and technology to navigate daily life. For example, they might memorize specific color arrangements, use texture or position to distinguish objects, or rely on color identification apps that use cameras to detect and label colors. Special glasses and contact lenses can also help enhance color perception, though they don't completely correct the condition. Colorblind individuals have unique coping mechanisms, enabling them to adapt and function effectively in a world designed for those with normal color vision. Mount Aya, located on the seabed of the Pacific Ocean near Hawaii, is technically taller than Mount Everest when measured from its base. Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth above sea level, stands at 29,032 feet. However, Mount Aya, from base to summit, reaches an astonishing 33,500 feet, making it the tallest mountain on Earth by total elevation. The mountain's base is deep under the ocean, and only its peak is underwater, making it a submarine mountain. Mount Aya highlights how measurement methods based on sea level can make a dramatic difference in ranking Earth's tallest peaks. Icebergs are often seen with colorful stripes, which can range from green and blue to yellow and even black. These colors are caused by various factors. Green and blue hues result from algae or microorganisms trapped within the ice, while yellow can be the result of sulfur deposits or minerals. The black stripes on icebergs are typically caused by dirt or volcanic ash that has been incorporated into the ice over time. These streaks and colors provide important information about the iceberg's age, formation, and the environmental conditions it has encountered throughout its life in the ocean. Amsterdam's sewer system, developed in the 16th century, is one of the oldest and most complex in the world. Initially designed to handle wastewater and protect against flooding, it consists of intricate networks of canals and underground tunnels. Over time, the system expanded to accommodate the growing population and urban development. Today, the sewers still function effectively, using a combination of modern technology and historical design. Amsterdam's commitment to preserving this ancient infrastructure reflects its engineering ingenuity, and the city's sewer system is now a part of its historical and cultural heritage, attracting occasional tours for curious visitors. The Cuerica River in Argentina is known for its unique and eerie phenomenon where fiery geysers occasionally erupt due to methane emissions. The methane, produced by decaying organic matter in the riverbed, rises to the surface and ignites upon contact with the air. This natural spectacle, while striking, is also a reminder of the volatile nature of Earth's ecosystems. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas, significantly contributing to climate change, making the river's emissions a concerning environmental factor, even as it remains a natural wonder and a scientific point of interest. Parrots are famous for their ability to mimic human speech, but they do not understand the words they repeat. Instead, they learn by memorizing sounds and associating them with specific contexts. Parrots have specialized vocal anatomy that enables them to reproduce sounds with impressive accuracy. Their mimicry is a form of social communication, which is vital in the wild for maintaining flock cohesion. The sounds they imitate are often a way for them to bond with their human caretakers or other animals. However, this mimicry does not imply a grasp of language as humans understand it. 1 billion seconds equals approximately 31.7 years, which is a fascinating perspective on the passage of time. If you you were born a billion seconds ago, you'd be a little over 31 years old today. This measure can help us better understand how long different time spans really are. A billion seconds might sound like an enormous number, but it's only a fraction of a human lifetime. In contrast, it's a minuscule amount of time in geological or cosmic terms, showing just how different scales of time can be when viewed through different lenses. Cows are known to form strong social bonds with other cows, often pairing up with a specific companion and spending the majority of their time together. Research has shown that cows experience stress and anxiety when separated from their chosen best friend, similar to how humans might feel when separated from close friends. This social behavior is important for their mental well-being, as it helps them feel secure and reduces the likelihood of aggression. Studies have also shown that cows in social groups tend to produce more milk, possibly due to the comfort of these close relationships. Neptune, the 8th planet from the Sun, experiences extreme pressure and temperatures deep within its atmosphere. Under these conditions, scientists believe that carbon in the planet's atmosphere condenses into diamond rain. These diamonds likely fall from the upper atmosphere into the deeper layers of Neptune, where the pressure is incredibly high and the temperatures are around -330 Fahrenheit. While the diamonds might be tiny and not the precious stones we know, the phenomenon highlights the strange and extreme weather conditions on gas giants like Neptune, adding to the mystery of these distant worlds. Giraffes are known for their long prehensile tongues, which they use to strip leaves from tall trees. The interesting fact about giraffes is that their tongues are black in color, a trait that helps protect them from sunburn. Giraffes spend a significant amount of time in the sun, feeding on leaves exposed to direct sunlight. The dark color of their tongues is believed to have evolved as a natural sunscreen, reducing the risk of UV damage. Their tongues, which can grow up to 18 to 20 inches long, are also incredibly strong, helping them grasp and maneuver branches with ease. The endless chocolate bar illusion is a famous geometric trick that creates the appearance of an infinitely long chocolate bar. The illusion occurs when a rectangular image is designed with an optical pattern that tricks the brain into perceiving continuous movement. While the chocolate bar is finite, the way the image is structured makes it appear as though it extends without end. This illusion is a great example of how our brains interpret visual information, and it's often used in art and design to challenge our perception of reality. It's also a fun way to illustrate the power of visual perception. People born on February 29th, known as leap day babies, celebrate their birthday only once every 4 years, as leap years only occur every 4 years due to the Earth's orbit around the Sun. This means that those born on this day technically have fewer birthdays, although they celebrate on either February 28th or March 1st in non-leap years. Leap year birthdays are rare, with only 1 in 1,400 people being born on this date. This rare occurrence has led to various traditions and legal quirks, such as calculating a leap year baby's age based on their actual birth date. A blink lasts about 3/10 of a second, making it one of the quickest and most frequent human movements. Blinking is an essential part of eye health, as it helps moisten and clean the eyes, preventing dryness and irritation. The average person blinks around 15 to 20 times per minute, and most of these blinks are unconscious. The frequency of blinking can increase in response to environmental factors like wind or dry air, or when a person is tired. Interestingly, blinks also play a role in communication, with subtle variations in blink rate sometimes signaling different emotions or reactions during conversations. When sand is heated to temperatures above 1400 Fahrenheit, it melts and becomes molten. Upon cooling, the sand hardens into glass, a process that dates back thousands of years. This transformation occurs because sand is primarily made up of silicon dioxide, which when melted loses its crystalline structure and forms an amorphous structure, characteristic of glass. Glass production is a fundamental part of modern industry, used in everything from windows to electronics. The process of creating glass is also used in ancient art, including glass blowing, which originated in Mesopotamia around 2000 BC. Originally, the pyramids of Giza were covered in highly polished white limestone, which reflected the sunlight and made them shine brightly, visible from miles away. At their peak, the Great Pyramids stood at 481 feet, taller than the Empire State Building. The pyramids were also capped with a layer of gold or electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver, adding to their gleaming appearance. Over time, most of the limestone casing was removed and the gold cap was looted, but the pyramids remain iconic symbols of ancient Egyptian engineering and architectural prowess. Located in the South Atlantic Ocean, Tristan da Cunha is the world's most remote inhabited island, situated approximately 2,400 kilometers, 1,500 miles from the nearest inhabited land, St. Helena. Part of a volcanic archipelago, the island has a population of around 250 people people, mostly living in the only village, Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. The island is accessible only by boat, with a trip taking about a week from the nearest port. Despite its isolation, Tristan da Cunha has a post office, a hospital, and even a small school, making it a unique and resilient community. Chickens are surprisingly poor flyers, mainly due to their body structure. Their heavy bodies and small wings limit their ability to fly long distances, so they can only manage short bursts, usually just enough to escape danger or reach a perch. Despite this, chickens are agile and quick on the ground, running at speeds of up to 9 miles per hour. Wild relatives like the red jungle fowl can fly much better, but domestication has led to the reduced flight capabilities of modern chickens. Their limited flying ability hasn't stopped them from being skilled foragers and survivors in various environments. Cockroaches are incredibly resilient creatures, capable of surviving harsh conditions that would kill most other animals. One of the most famous feats of cockroach survival is their ability to endure high levels of radiation, more so than humans or other mammals. However, they are not immune to nuclear explosions, as the blast would destroy their bodies. Cockroaches' hard exoskeletons, ability to hold their breath for up to 40 minutes, and fast reproductive cycles make them tough survivors. Their resilience has fascinated scientists, leading to studies on how these insects can thrive in extreme environments, including space. Sloth fur hosts a unique ecosystem of algae, fungi, moths, and other microbes. The algae growing on their fur provide camouflage, blending them into the green canopy and protecting them from predators. Additionally, the fungi found in sloth fur have been researched for their potential medicinal properties, including antibiotic and cancer-fighting effects. Sloths' slow movements create an environment where these microorganisms thrive, with moths laying eggs in the fur and the larvae feeding on the algae. This intricate relationship is so important that sloths rarely clean themselves, allowing the ecosystem to flourish in their stinky bodies. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is shrinking at an alarming rate of 15,000 kilometers per year, with scientists predicting that it will disappear entirely in just 45 years. This massive storm, which has existed for at least 350 years, has already lost nearly half of its size since 1979. Experts believe that within the next few decades, it will vanish completely, leaving behind a calm, featureless atmosphere on the planet's surface. Oxford University, located in England, is older than the Aztec Empire, with its roots dating back to the 12th century. The exact founding date is unclear, but it is widely recognized as one of the oldest universities in the world. The Aztec Empire, by contrast, was founded in the early 14th century. Oxford has produced some of history's most influential scholars and leaders, including 28 British prime ministers, numerous writers, and over 50 Nobel Prize winners. The university's long history and global impact continue to make it a symbol of academic excellence and intellectual achievement. For those who couldn't find the first fake fact, it's related to the brain. Pain is a physical sensation primarily processed by nerve receptors called nociceptors, which send signals to the brain. While taste is processed by taste buds on the tongue, pain itself doesn't directly translate into taste. However, certain tastes, like spicy foods, can cause a burning sensation, which might be why some people mistakenly associate pain with taste. Capsaicin, the compound that makes chili peppers hot, activates pain receptors and can lead to sensations that some might interpret as a form of taste-related pain, even though it is technically a physical response to heat. The chemical compound isoamyl acetate, responsible for the artificial banana flavor used in candies, ice creams, and other products, is also a key pheromone for honeybees. When bees are threatened, they release this compound to alert other bees to potential danger. This overlap between flavor and pheromones is a reminder of how interconnected nature can be, with different species sharing chemical signals that serve multiple purposes. Interestingly, the flavor profile of artificial bananas is based on a variety that's now almost extinct due to disease, leading to a taste that's somewhat different from real bananas. Vultures have a unique way of regulating their body temperature. They urinate on their legs. This behavior, called urohydrosis, serves a twofold purpose. First, the evaporation of urine from their legs helps cool their bodies, which is essential for these scavengers that often fly under the intense heat of the sun. Secondly, the urination helps to kill bacteria and parasites they may pick up from scavenging dead animals. This method of cooling and hygiene allows vultures to survive in extreme conditions where many other animals would struggle. More people have visited the moon than the deepest part of the ocean. As of 2021, only 12 astronauts have walked on the lunar surface since the first Apollo mission in 1969. Meanwhile, fewer than 10 people have ventured to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the Earth's deepest point, which reaches about 36,000 feet below sea level. The extreme pressures, frigid temperatures, and lack of light make it a highly dangerous and inaccessible environment, which is why so few have dared to explore its depths compared to space. Penguins are unique in that they have a specialized gland called the supraorbital gland, which enables them to survive in saltwater environments. This gland filters out the excess salt from the seawater they ingest while hunting for food, turning it into a concentrated saline solution that is excreted from their nostrils. This adaptation is essential, as penguins spend much of their lives in the ocean, and their bodies cannot process the high high salt content. It also allows penguins to drink from the ocean directly without dehydration, unlike most other animals. Unlike the planets that orbit the sun in elliptical paths, Jupiter and the sun orbit around a common center of mass, known as the barycenter. This is due to Jupiter's immense size, which is about 318 times that of Earth, making it the most massive planet in our solar system. As a result, the barycenter lies just outside the surface of the sun, causing both the sun and Jupiter to move slightly in response to each other. This concept of dual orbital movement challenges the traditional view of a planet simply orbiting its star. Sloths have a reputation for being slow and lazy, but when it comes to mating, female sloths are quite active in attracting potential mates. During mating season, female sloths emit loud, high-pitched screams to signal their availability. This behavior is necessary because sloths are solitary creatures and don't engage in active searching for mates. Their slow pace makes it difficult for them to find each other, so the loud calls help to attract males from far away. The screams are vital for reproduction, ensuring that the sloths find mates despite their sedentary lifestyles. Bees possess 5 eyes, 2 of which are large compound eyes, and 3 small simple eyes known as ocelli. The compound eyes, made up of thousands of individual lenses, allow them to detect motion and navigate in all directions. The ocelli, located on the top of their heads, help with detecting light intensity, which assists in regulating their flight patterns and navigation. This combination of vision enables bees to efficiently pollinate flowers, find their hive, and even communicate with each other through a special dance to convey the direction and distance of food sources. Iguanas, like many reptiles, have a third eye located on top of their heads, known as a parietal eye. This eye is not used for vision in the traditional sense, but detects changes in light and shadows, allowing iguanas to sense potential predators. It helps them remain alert even when the rest of their body is focused elsewhere. The parietal eye is connected to the brain's pineal gland, which regulates circadian rhythms, and may also play a role in thermoregulation by helping the iguana gauge the intensity of sunlight to regulate body temperature. The Jimpy Jimpy plant, also known as the suicide plant, is infamous for its painful sting, which can last for hours or even days. Found in Australia, its leaves and stems are covered in tiny, needle-like hairs that inject toxins when touched. The sting causes intense burning pain, often described as being like electric shocks. In some cases, the pain can be so overwhelming that it has led to panic attacks, fainting, and even suicidal thoughts. Despite its danger, indigenous people have used it for medicinal purposes, boiling the leaves for their analgesic properties. Squirrels can experience stress in response to dangerous situations, such as predators or environmental changes. Under extreme stress, squirrels may freeze in place, becoming immobile until they feel safe again. This response is thought to be an instinctive survival mechanism to avoid detection. In rare cases, prolonged stress can weaken a squirrel's immune system, leading to death from conditions like exhaustion or infections. Squirrels can also suffer from the stress of overcrowding, especially in urban areas, where food scarcity and competition can exacerbate their anxiety, leading to premature death in extreme cases. Flatfish, such as flounders, have a unique feature where one of their eyes migrates to the other side of their head as they mature. At birth, flatfish are bilaterally symmetrical, but as they grow, one eye settles on the upper side of their flattened body. This adaptation allows the flatfish to lie on the ocean floor while still being able to see above them for predators and prey. The flatfish's eyes remain on the same side, which helps them blend into their environment, effectively camouflaging themselves against predators or prey on the ocean floor. Elephants have a remarkable ability to sense underground water sources from miles away. This skill is believed to be linked to their large, sensitive tusks, which they can use to detect subtle vibrations in the ground that indicate the presence of water. Some elephants are known to lead their herds to these hidden water sources, and in some cases they can even detect where humans have dug for water. This incredible water-finding ability, combined with their long-distance communication through low-frequency sounds, allows elephants to help themselves and other animals survive in arid regions. Male moths are highly attracted to the pheromones released by females, sometimes traveling miles to find their mate. This powerful scent trail is so strong that it can guide male moths through complex environments to locate females for mating. The process is not unique to moths, but is found in many insects, where pheromones are a crucial part of reproduction. The male moth's ability to track the scent efficiently ensures the continuation of the species, even in large and densely vegetated areas, where visual cues are less effective. Studies have shown that dogs exhibit more brain activity when interacting with their owners compared to strangers or other dogs. This suggests that dogs have a deep emotional connection to their human companions. The brain activity is similar to how humans respond to loved ones, suggesting dogs see their owners as part of their social group group and have affection for them. This bond is formed through years of domestication and mutual reliance, with dogs using both scent and behavior to strengthen their relationships with humans, enhancing their loyalty and connection. Kittens are dependent on their mothers for at least the first 4 months of life for proper physical and emotional development. During this time, they nurse and receive vital nutrients from their mother's milk, while also learning essential survival skills such as hunting and social behavior. Mother cats also provide warmth, security, and grooming during this period. Without this critical early care, kittens may develop issues with health, socialization, and behavioral problems, making early separation detrimental to their long-term well-being. Kangaroos possess a unique reproductive system that allows them to have multiple offspring at different stages of development simultaneously. Female kangaroos can be pregnant with one joey in the womb while simultaneously nursing a joey that's already out of the pouch. Additionally, kangaroos can pause the development of an embryo until the pouch is free to care for a new joey, allowing them to adapt to environmental conditions. This incredible adaptability helps them survive in unpredictable Australian climates, where food and water availability can fluctuate greatly. The termite queen is the longest-lived insect, with a lifespan ranging from 50 to 100 years. During her life, the queen can produce millions of eggs, making her the central figure in a termite colony. Her prolonged lifespan allows her to maintain a steady production of offspring, ensuring the colony's survival and growth. In addition to being long-lived, termite queens can also produce vast amounts of pheromones to maintain colony structure and soldiers to carry out their respective roles. During Australian wildfires, wombats are known to extend the length of their burrows to create shelters for other animals. These marsupials dig deep, secure burrows that offer protection from the intense heat. Their burrows become refuges for other species during fires, with wombats expanding their tunnels to accommodate multiple animals seeking shelter. This instinctive behavior highlights wombats' role in supporting biodiversity, as they provide a vital escape from the devastating impacts of wildfires that frequently sweep through Australia's forests. When newborn rays, such as bat rays and stingrays, are born, they emerge wrapped tightly in their fins, resembling a burrito shape. This unique birth adaptation helps protect the young rays from predators immediately after birth, as they can remain hidden in their protective wrap until they are strong enough to swim away. This strategy ensures that the rays' delicate bodies are shielded as they make the transition from the safety of the egg case to the open waters. Some penguins, especially males, are known to undertake solitary walks toward dangerous or even fatal destinations despite the safety of their colony. In certain species, males will embark on long journeys for food or to escape social pressures within the colony. This solitary behavior often involves walking long distances alone, risking exposure to predators and environmental hazards. This journey may ultimately lead to their demise, yet it is part of their natural cycle, showing the harsh realities of their survival strategies in the wild. Antelopes, particularly in African savannas, are known to employ a unique tactic when evading predators: high hopping or pronking. This behavior involves jumping several feet into the air with stiff legs, creating a display that can confuse predators. It also signals to other antelopes that danger is near. By pronking, antelopes are thought to demonstrate their physical fitness and warn others in the herd, allowing them to evade capture and escape predators like lions or cheetahs that rely on stealth and speed. Woolly mammoths roamed the earth during the time when the Egyptian pyramids were being built. The Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed around 4,500 years ago, roughly 10,000 years after woolly mammoths first appeared. These massive creatures, covered in thick fur to withstand the cold, were still roaming parts of the earth during the pyramid construction. While the last known population of woolly mammoths disappeared about 4,000 years ago, their presence during this ancient era is a fascinating link between prehistoric life and one of humanity's greatest architectural achievements. When the human body experiences extreme starvation and lacks sufficient body fat, it can start growing fur-like hair, known as lanugo. This fine, soft hair typically appears on fetuses during development, but can reappear in adults under extreme conditions like malnutrition or anorexia. The body grows this hair as a natural attempt to provide extra insulation and conserve heat, helping to protect vital organs during prolonged starvation. Although not truly fur, lanugo serves a similar function, helping individuals survive in harsh conditions by maintaining body temperature in the absence of fat reserves. The energy stored in all of Earth's oil and gas reserves is equivalent to just 8.5 days of sunlight hitting the planet's surface. Despite oil and gas providing significant energy globally, the amount of energy the Earth receives from the sun each day is vastly greater. The sun emits approximately 174 petawatts of energy to the Earth's surface, far surpassing the combined energy from fossil fuels. This highlights the immense potential of solar energy, suggesting that sustainable, renewable sources like solar power could eventually replace fossil fuels in providing long-term global energy solutions. For the second fake fact, the hint is a planet. With that said, we've arrived at the end of this video. Comment below what the fake fact was. It was a long journey, but thanks for sticking out until the end. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe as it helps me create more content like this. this. Until next time. Oh, wait. Before you go, consider buying a coffee for me. I spend days working on a single script and need my coffee intake. But hey, if you want a mug, you can also order a completely useless one right here. Just click on the link in description to get your own mug. Goodbye. For real this time. Did you know that there's going to be a war over the Arctic region? Shocking, right? But that's nowhere even close to the shocking facts about dinosaurs and the pyramids in this video. So buckle up, because I'm about to take you for a ride filled with facts so random, you'll have more questions than answers. And before we start, please subscribe. Done? Let's start. It might come off as unreal, but Russia and the United States are actually connected. But there's a little twist to it. You see, if we look at Alaska, there's a small distance between Russia and Alaska. Zooming further in, we see two Diomede islands between them. The Russian island has mostly military personnel on the island, while there's a small town on the side of US island, separated only by 2 miles of water. When winter arrives, the water between the islands freeze, enabling them to cross over the land by foot. In Alabama, it is illegal to carry ice cream in your back pocket. This outdated law was supposedly enacted to prevent horse theft, as thieves would lure horses away by placing ice cream in their back pockets. Bizarre but effective method for stealing animals. Although no one enforces it today, it's still a quirky law on the books. Studies have shown that stressed plants, including vegetables, emit ultrasonic vibrations when damaged or dehydrated. These sounds are inaudible to humans but can be detected by specialized equipment. This phenomenon suggests that plants have a form of communication, warning nearby plants of potential threats. While this isn't screaming in the traditional sense, it highlights the complexity of plant biology. Vegetables like tomatoes and cucumbers have been observed producing these sounds, sparking debates about plant sentience and ethical farming practices. Weeds are among the most adaptable plants on Earth. Species like dandelions thrive in urban areas, pushing through cracks in concrete and surviving nutrient-poor soils. Their resilience is due to features like deep taproots that store energy and help them regrow after being cut. Many weeds can endure droughts, extreme temperatures, and even pollution. This adaptability allows them to invade ecosystems and outcompete native plants. Their ability to thrive in disturbed environments makes them some of the most persistent plants, requiring intensive management to prevent their spread in both agricultural fields and urban areas. You want to know an interesting fact? In 2024 alone, there were losses of more than $2 billion due to hacking, and you can be the next person. But worry not, because NordVPN encrypts your internet traffic, meaning your private info, like passwords, credit card details, or sensitive emails, stays private. It's like locking your front door, but for your online life. Plus, it hides your IP address so advertisers and nosy websites can't track you. And here's the kicker. With over 5,000 servers in 60+ countries, you can connect from virtually anywhere. Want to watch shows only available in the UK? Click a button and you're there. It's that simple. Try it risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Click the link below and start browsing smarter, safer, and stress-free today. Lake Superior in the United States is the largest freshwater lake in the world, touching the borders of 4 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, and Ontario. It's about the size of Netherlands and reaches up to 400 meters depth. So why is it called the graveyard of the Great Lakes? You see, this lake has had about a total of 350 shipwrecks, almost 200 of them in the bottom right, which came to be known as the graveyard of these ships. The main reason for it is the fact that hungry. A chicken's earlobe color can predict the color of its eggs. Chickens with white earlobes generally lay white eggs, while those with red or brown earlobes lay brown eggs. Chickens can also see a wider range of colors than humans due to an extra cone in their eyes, allowing them to perceive ultraviolet light. This enhanced vision helps them locate food, identify predators, and distinguish between flock members. While humans rely on 3 types of cones to see color, chickens have 4, giving them a more vivid perception of their environment. Although veins appear blue through the skin, blood inside them is red due to the absence of oxygen in venous blood. This color difference is an optical illusion caused by how light interacts with the skin. Veins themselves are designed to handle low-pressure blood flow, and their visibility can be influenced by body fat, hydration, and temperature. In individuals with low body fat, veins may appear more prominent, while factors like exercise, heat, or dehydration can make veins seem to disappear. Despite these variations, veins remain critical for transporting blood, ensuring that nutrients, gases, and waste products are effectively managed throughout the body. Did you know that running regularly can reverse some signs of muscle aging? As we age, muscle mass typically decreases, and the muscle fibers lose their ability to generate strength. However, consistent running, especially in older adults, can maintain or even increase muscle mass and strength. The repetitive motion helps stimulate muscle regeneration and improve aerobic capacity. In fact, runners in their 70s often show muscle health comparable to those decades younger, making running one of the best ways to slow down the natural aging process and stay physically active attractive as you age. Carrots, as we know them, were not always orange. Historically, wild carrots were purple, red, yellow, or white. The orange variety was selectively bred by Dutch farmers in the 17th century to honor the ruling House of Orange. This version became more popular due to its sweeter taste and appealing color. Modern carrots owe their color to beta-carotene, which the body converts to vitamin A, essential for vision and immune health. Despite their colorful history, most people today only recognize orange carrots, though purple and yellow varieties are regaining popularity for their unique flavors and antioxidants. Botanically speaking, tomatoes are classified as fruits because they develop from the ovary of a flower and contain seed. However, in culinary terms, they're treated as vegetables due to their savory taste and frequent use in salads, sauces, and soup. The confusion led to a U.S. Supreme Court ruling in 1893 declaring tomatoes vegetables for taxation purposes. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, an antioxidant linked to heart health and cancer prevention. They're also versatile with over 10,000 varieties worldwide, ranging from sweet cherry tomatoes to large beefsteaks. Are you paying attention? Because as always, I'm going to slip in a fake fact in this video. Cutting onions releases a sulfur-based compound called syn-propanethyl S-oxide, a volatile gas that reacts with water in your eyes to form mild sulfuric acid. This irritant stimulates your tear glands, causing tears. The chemical reaction is a natural defense mechanism of onions to deter pests. Interestingly, chilling onions or cutting them underwater can reduce tear production by slowing the release of the gas. Onions are a staple in cuisines worldwide and provide numerous health benefits, including antioxidants and compounds that may reduce inflammation, improve heart health, and boost immune function. When potatoes were introduced to Europe in the 16th century, many believed they were poisonous because they are part of the nightshade family, which includes toxic plants. Some even thought potatoes caused leprosy. It wasn't until the 18th century, when they were promoted by figures like Antoine-Augustin Parmentier, that potatoes became widely accepted as a staple crop. Today, they are the fourth most consumed food globally. Potatoes are highly versatile, used in dishes ranging from fries to gnocchi, and are a great source of carbohydrates, vitamin C, and potassium. Speaking of leprosy, it's an ancient disease dating back over 4,000 years and doesn't spread as easily as people think. 95% of humans are naturally immune. However, if you do contract it, the effects can be bizarre. It not only damages skin and nerves, but also changes body odor, creating a distinct, unpleasant scent. It can even make your eyebrows completely vanish. Despite its reputation, leprosy is often misunderstood. Casual contact won't transmit it, making those medieval isolation practices largely unnecessary. Broccoli didn't exist in the wild, but was selectively bred from a wild mustard plant, Brassica oleracea, over centuries. This process also produced cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage, all part of the cruciferous vegetable family. Broccoli gained popularity due to its mild flavor and health benefits, being rich in fiber, vitamin C, and cancer-fighting compounds like sulforaphane. Its cultivation dates back to the Roman Empire, but it wasn't widely eaten in the US until the 20th century. Broccoli's history demonstrates how human cultivation has shaped the foods we eat today. Wallets have surprising versatility, from holding personal records to being survival tools. Kazuya Ueda from Japan holds a Guinness World Record for owning over 500 unique wallets, ranging from antique designs to modern minimalist styles. Wallets have been improvised for survival, like reflecting light to start fires, or as makeshift flotation aids when stuffed with buoyant items. Historically, wallets were also used to carry letters and small personal belongings before the widespread use of paper currency. In a study of 17,000 lost wallets globally, those with baby photos were more frequently returned than others. Asparagus contains a compound called asparagusic acid, which breaks down into sulfur-containing chemicals when digested. These chemicals are responsible for the strong odor in urine shortly after eating asparagus. Interestingly, not everyone can detect this smell, as the ability to do so is genetic. Asparagus is packed with nutrients, including folate, fiber, and vitamins A, C, and K, making it a healthy addition to any diet. Its diuretic properties help flush out toxins from the body, further reinforcing its reputation as a vegetable with unique and surprising characteristics. Celery is often touted as a negative calorie food because the body uses more energy to digest it than the calories it provides. While this claim isn't entirely accurate, celery is extremely calories and high in water and fiber, making it a great choice for weight loss and hydration. Native to the Mediterranean, celery has been cultivated for thousands of years, initially as a medicinal plant. Its crunchy texture and mild flavor make it a versatile ingredient in salads, soups, and snacks, demonstrating its enduring popularity across cultures. Chickens can recognize over 100 individual faces, including humans and other animals. They demonstrate problem-solving skills comparable to small mammals like dogs and cats, and they dream during REM sleep, just like humans. humans. Studies have shown they understand cause and effect and can even count up to 5. Baby chicks display object permanence, a trait seen in human toddlers. Despite being underestimated, chickens have social hierarchies, preferences for certain companions, and the ability to remember past events, proving their intelligence is far beyond what most people realize. Enjoying the video? Consider buying me a coffee for staying up late and working on these videos. Links in the description. The spiciness of chili peppers comes from capsaicin, a compound that binds to pain receptors on the tongue. This triggers the brain to interpret the sensation as heat or burning, even though no actual temperature change occurs. Capsaicin is an evolutionary defense mechanism to deter animals from eating the peppers, but humans have developed a taste for the spice. Chili peppers are rich in vitamins A and C and are believed to boost metabolism and reduce inflammation, making them both a culinary and health staple worldwide. Trees hold the title of Earth's longest living organisms. Methuselah, a bristlecone pine in California, is over 4,800 years old, surviving through harsh conditions by growing slowly and conserving energy. However, clonal tree systems like the Pando Grove in Utah outshine individual trees. Pando, an interconnected network of aspen trees sharing a single root system, is estimated to be 80,000 years old. Clonal systems regenerate through roots, effectively making them immortal unless environmental conditions drastically change. These ancient trees have witnessed shifts in climate, human civilizations, and geological transformations, offering a living archive of Earth's environmental history. Spiders produce multiple types of silk, each with specific functions: web construction, prey wrapping, egg sac creation, or long-distance travel through ballooning. In ballooning, spiders release silk threads to catch wind currents, enabling them to traverse distances of up to hundreds of miles. The silk itself is a biological marvel, stronger than steel of the same diameter and more elastic than Kevlar, making it a focus for biomimetic research in materials science. Some species, like orb weavers, can spin intricate webs that serve as both traps and homes. Spider silk's composition, a mix of proteins like spidroins, allows for incredible tensile strength and elasticity. The study of spider silk has inspired potential applications in medicine, such as sutures, and in engineering for creating lightweight, durable materials. Trees engage in complex interactions via a fungal network often called the wood wide web. This underground system connects roots through mycorrhizal fungi, allowing trees to exchange water, nutrients, and chemical signals. Mother trees, usually older and larger, support younger saplings by transferring nutrients to their root systems. This network also enables trees to warn each other about pest infestations or diseases by releasing chemical signals. The mycorrhizal fungi benefit by receiving sugars from the trees, forming a mutually supportive system that allows forests to thrive even under environmental stress and resource scarcity. Forests play a critical role in mitigating climate change by absorbing roughly 2.4 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide annually. Trees capture carbon through photosynthesis and store it in their trunks, branches, and roots. Mangroves, a type of coastal tree, are particularly effective, storing up to 5 times more carbon per acre than tropical rainforests. This makes them vital for reducing global warming impacts. Additionally, forests help stabilize weather patterns, regulate water cycles, and prevent soil erosion, highlighting their multifaceted role in maintaining the planet's ecological balance and resilience against climate shifts. Trees have evolved sophisticated defense mechanisms to survive threats. Some, like acacia trees, release tannins that make their leaves toxic when grazed on, deterring herbivores. Others, such as dragon's blood trees in Yemen, exude a vivid red sap when damaged, historically considered magical and used in traditional medicines and dyes. Certain trees also emit volatile organic compounds to attract predators of their attackers, such as parasitic wasps that target leaf-eating insects. Additionally, trees can thicken their bark, form scar tissue, or grow spines to physically protect themselves against damage and environmental challenges. The General Sherman tree, a giant sequoia in California, is the largest known living tree by volume. Towering at 275 feet with a trunk diameter of 36 feet, it weighs over 6,000 tons. Despite its immense size, it continues to grow, adding enough wood annually to create a 60-foot tall tree. These trees play a critical role in supporting biodiversity by providing habitats for insects, birds, and mammals. Additionally, giant sequoias are highly fire-resistant due to their thick, spongy bark, enabling them to survive and regenerate even after wildfires, which are common in their natural habitats. Weeds are prolific seed producers, ensuring their survival and spread. A single pigweed plant, for instance, can produce up to 500,000 seeds in one growing season. These seeds are often lightweight, allowing them to travel long distances via wind, water, or attachment to animals. Some weed seeds, like those of barnyard grass, remain viable in soil for decades, waiting for the right conditions to sprout. This reproductive strategy makes weeds highly invasive, requiring continuous control measures in agriculture and natural areas. Without proper management, their overwhelming overwhelming seed production can dominate landscapes and threaten native vegetation. In Washington, D.C., it's technically illegal to die in the Capitol building. This absurd law stems from an old statute that states anyone who dies in the Capitol or its grounds must be buried at government expense. While it's not enforced today, it remains on the books as a strange reminder of bygone laws. Fingernails grow at about 3.5 millimeters per month, nearly 3 times faster than toenails, due to better blood circulation and frequent use of fingers. Nails on the dominant hand grow slightly faster, and growth rates increase in warmer months. Nails are made of keratin, the same protein found in hair, but their unique molecular structure makes them harder. This hardness protects the sensitive nail bed and assists with tasks like gripping or scratching. Contrary to myths, nails do not grow after death. The skin retracts as it dehydrates, creating the illusion of growth, but active blood flow is required for actual nail regeneration. Nails provide key insights into health. White spots, known as leukonychia, result from minor injuries to the nail matrix, not calcium deficiency. Yellow nails may indicate fungal infections, diabetes, or respiratory problems, while spoon-shaped nails, koilonychia, are linked to iron deficiency anemia. Textural changes like ridges can suggest age-related changes or conditions like arthritis. Nails grow faster in well-nourished individuals, reflecting overall health. Changes in nail appearance are often early indicators of health conditions, making them an important factor in medical diagnostics. Some weeds, like Japanese knotweed, are not just invasive but destructive. This plant can grow through concrete, asphalt, and building foundations, causing significant structural damage. Its roots, which can extend up to 20 feet deep, make removal extremely difficult. Knotweed's resilience and rapid growth lead to blocked drainage systems, compromised flood defenses, and weakened roads. It is so invasive that its presence can devalue properties, with some mortgage lenders refusing loans on affected homes. The cost of controlling Japanese knotweed runs into millions annually. Chickens are surprisingly chatty, using over 30 distinct vocalizations to convey different messages, such as warnings about predators, calls to gather food, or signals to their chicks. Their alarm calls even specify the type of predator, with distinct tones for threats from the sky or land. They're also the closest living relatives to the Tyrannosaurus rex. Genetic studies have confirmed that modern birds, including chickens, evolved from theropod dinosaurs. Their bone structures, particularly in the legs and feet, show clear similarities to their prehistoric ancestors. The discovery of protein in a T-Rex fossil further supports this link. Ducks have incredible 340-degree vision thanks to eyes on the sides of their heads, letting them spot predators from almost any angle without moving. Their vision is so sharp they can detect tiny insects or fish while flying or swimming, and they even see ultraviolet light. On top of that, ducks have an insane defense mechanism called unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. One half of their brain stays awake while the other sleeps, allowing them to keep one eye open for danger. In groups, they take turns being the lookout, ensuring everyone gets rest while staying safe from predators like foxes and eagles. It's a survival system that's as efficient as it is fascinating. Some goats, like the fainting goat, have a genetic condition called myotonia congenita that causes their muscles to stiffen when startled, making them faint for a few seconds. While harmless, it's a quirky trait that has made them a hit among animal enthusiasts. But don't let that fool you. Goats are escape artists. Their intelligence, curiosity, and climbing ability mean no fence is truly goat-proof. They can figure out weak spots, unlatch gates, or even work together to escape enclosures. This problem-solving knack, combined with their social nature, makes them entertaining yet challenging animals to manage. Goats truly keep you on your toes, both literally and figuratively. Dolphins are among the rare animals that recognize themselves in mirrors, passing the mirror test alongside humans, great apes, and elephants. They use mirrors to inspect parts of their bodies they can't normally see, proving a high level of self-awareness. Equally fascinating is how they sleep, using unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. One half of their brain rests while the other stays alert, allowing them to swim, surface for air, and watch for predators. This adaptation keeps them safe and functional in their aquatic environment, combining rest with survival in a way that's uniquely dolphin. Chicken is a globally popular protein due to its affordability, versatility, and health benefits, with over 100 million metric tons consumed in 2021. It is a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids necessary for muscle repair and growth, and is rich in B vitamins, selenium, and phosphorus, supporting immune function and bone health. Skinless breast meat is leaner and higher in protein, while darker leg and thigh meat offer more zinc and iron. Chicken meat can also vary in color based on the bird's diet, activity, or health. Free-range chickens have darker leg meat due to increased muscle use, while diets including marigold petals result in yellowish fat and skin. Rare cases of green muscle disease can also cause discoloration. Goats have rectangular pupils, giving them nearly 340-degree vision to spot predators without moving their heads. These pupils also enhance their ability to see in low light, which is crucial for navigating rocky terrains during dawn or dusk. Speaking of terrain, goats are climbing masters. Their hooves are perfectly designed for gripping steep, rocky surfaces with a hard outer edge and soft concave undersides for traction. This allows them to scale cliffs, mountains, and even trees, reaching places most animals can't. Their climbing skills not only help them escape predators, but also give them access to food in hard-to-reach areas, making them one of nature's most agile and resourceful animals. Ducks stay perfectly dry even after hours in water thanks to a waterproof oil they spread from their uropygial gland. Beneath this layer, they have fluffy down feathers for insulation, keeping them warm even in freezing water. But not all duck adaptations are cozy. Male ducks, or drakes, are aggressive during mating, sometimes forming gangs that can harm females. In response, female ducks evolved corkscrew-shaped reproductive tracts with dead ends to control which males fertilize their eggs. This evolutionary arms race between the sexes is as brutal as it is ingenious, showing how survival and reproduction are anything but simple. Chicken is a leading source of foodborne illnesses globally, often linked to bacteria like Salmonella and Campylobacter. Improper handling, undercooking, and cross-contamination pose significant health risks, emphasizing the need for safe cooking and storage practices. Chicken must be cooked to an internal temperature of 165 Fahrenheit to eliminate harmful pathogens. Cross-contamination can be prevented by thoroughly cleaning utensils, surfaces, and hands after handling raw chicken. Despite risks, advancements in food safety regulations and awareness have reduced outbreaks. Consumers must store chicken at appropriate temperatures, cook it fully, and avoid using the same surfaces or tools for raw and cooked chicken to minimize potential illnesses. Dolphins are skilled tool users, with bottlenose dolphins placing sponges on their snouts to protect themselves while foraging on rough ocean floors. This learned behavior is passed down through generations, showcasing their intelligence and ability to innovate. Beyond tools, dolphins display surprising empathy toward humans. They've been observed guiding fishermen to fish and even protecting swimmers from sharks by forming barriers. These behaviors reflect their social intelligence and a remarkable capacity for cooperation and understanding, making dolphins one of the most fascinating species in the animal kingdom. Spiders rely on unique feeding habits, using their fangs to inject digestive enzymes that liquefy their prey's insides for easy consumption. Their venom, while toxic to prey, is harmless to humans in most species, except for a few like black widows or brown recluses. Jumping spiders have exceptional vision, with large forward-facing eyes capable of acute focus, allowing them to hunt with precision. This ability even includes recognizing objects or faces, an unusual trait among invertebrates. Spiders are also highly adaptable, capable of surviving months without food by slowing their metabolism, particularly in cold or scarce conditions. Cold-blooded by nature, they thrive in diverse habitats, from deserts to rainforests, using these adaptations to endure environmental challenges. Wallets date back over 3,000 years, with the oldest found in Germany during the Bronze Age. This pouch-like wallet held tools, coins, or trade items, showcasing early human ingenuity in carrying valuables. Modern wallets still serve this purpose, with the average person carrying $90 in cash, though digital payments are steadily replacing physical money. Wallet designs now cater to different needs, from slim card holders for minimalists to RFID blocking wallets for added security against digital theft. In Japan, where cash use is more prevalent, people often carry thicker wallets to store larger bills and coins. Wallets reflect not only cultural practices but also technological advancements, adapting to how we store and protect our assets. Veins in the human body, stretching over 60,000 miles if laid end to end, play a vital role in blood circulation. They contain one-way valves that prevent backflow and ensure blood moves efficiently toward the heart, a crucial feature to avoid circulation problems like varicose veins. These valves are especially important in the legs, where gravity makes upward blood flow challenging. Additionally, veins can constrict or dilate, adjusting blood flow and pressure in response to physical activity or environmental factors, like temperature changes. The ability of veins to adapt to these demands helps the body regulate vital processes such as nutrient distribution and waste removal. And now, it's time for some mind-blowing facts about dinosaurs. The Tyrannosaurus rex, one of the most iconic dinosaurs, had a bite force of approximately 12,800 pounds, making it one of the strongest bite forces in animal history. This powerful bite allowed it to crush bones and bite through the tough hides of its prey, making it an apex predator. The T-Rex's teeth were designed for cutting through meat, with serrated edges that acted like knives. Its jaw muscles were extraordinarily strong, and it could exert immense pressure when biting down, likely leading to the consumption of large chunks of meat and bone. Its predatory efficiency was key to its dominance in its environment, feeding on other large herbivores like Triceratops. This bite force is stronger than any modern-day carnivore, including crocodiles and great white sharks. While modern birds are known for their feathers, many dinosaurs also had feathers long before birds evolved. Fossil evidence, particularly from species like Velociraptor and Microraptor, shows that these dinosaurs had feathers that could have been used for display, insulation, or perhaps gliding rather than flight. Some species, like Archaeopteryx, which lived about 150 million years ago, had feathers and wings, representing an evolutionary bridge between non-avian dinosaurs and birds. Feathers were initially believed to have served purposes like temperature regulation, but over time they evolved for flight in some species. The discovery of feathered dinosaurs has provided significant insights into the evolutionary link between dinosaurs and birds, fundamentally changing our understanding of dinosaur biology and evolution. The Brachiosaurus was one of the largest dinosaurs to ever roam the Earth, standing over 40 feet tall and measuring more than 80 feet long. Unlike most large sauropods, which had similar-sized front and rear legs, the Brachiosaurus had disproportionately long front legs. This unique feature gave it a giraffe-like posture, allowing it to reach vegetation high in the trees, far above the reach of most other herbivorous dinosaurs. Its long neck helped it feed on conifers and other plants that were beyond the reach of other herbivores, giving it an ecological advantage. The Brachiosaurus lived during the Jurassic period, and its massive size, along with its ability to feed from towering trees, made it one of the most successful plant eaters of its time. The largest known dinosaur eggs come from a species believed to be laid by a sauropod, specifically the Macroelongatulithus dinosaur. These eggs were about the size of a basketball, some measuring over 18 inches in diameter. Sauropods like Apatosaurus and Brachiosaurus were some of the largest, and their eggs were proportionally enormous. These massive eggs likely held well-developed embryos that could quickly grow after hatching. The size of the eggs raises questions about how such large creatures could start life in such small, fragile shells. Some scientists believe that the large size and structure of these eggs provided insights into how these dinosaurs managed reproduction and development, offering clues about their growth rates and how they navigated early life stages in a hostile world filled with predators. Spinosaurus is considered one of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs, reaching lengths of up to 59 feet and potentially weighing as much as 7 to 10 tons. What makes it unique is its presumed semi-aquatic lifestyle, which differentiates it from other giant carnivores like Tyrannosaurus rex. Its fossil evidence suggests adaptations for aquatic life, such as a long crocodile-like snout with conical teeth, ideal for catching fish. Its body was also built for swimming with webbed feet, a muscular tail likely used for propulsion, and a sail-like structure on its back. Spinosaurus lived during the Cretaceous period, roughly 112 to 93 million years ago in what is now North Africa, and it is believed to have hunted both in water and on land, making it a versatile and formidable predator in its environment. Ankylosaurus was a heavily armored dinosaur from the late Cretaceous period, equipped with a unique tail club that made it one of the most defensive species. The tail club, made up of large, bony structures fused together, could swing with immense force, potentially breaking the bones of attackers or deterring predators. Its body was covered in thick, bony plates and spikes, providing protection from carnivores like the Tyrannosaurus rex. The Ankylosaurus also had a low-slung body, making it difficult for predators to reach its vital areas. Its tail club, however, was likely its most effective defense, used not just to ward off attackers, but also to maintain its position as a dominant herbivore in its ecosystem, deterring any potential threats with its sheer force. Triceratops, one of the most iconic herbivorous dinosaurs, had a large bony frill on the back of its head, which was likely used for communication, display, and social interaction. This frill, made of bone and sometimes decorated with holes, may have been brightly colored or patterned, serving to attract mates or intimidate rivals. Its 3 facial horns, another notable feature, were likely used for defense and combat, particularly during the mating season when males fought for dominance. Fossil evidence suggests that Triceratops lived in herds, and the frill and horns could have played an important role in social structure and recognition among individuals. The combination of the frill and horns made the Triceratops one of the most unique and well-protected herbivores of the late Cretaceous period. Argentinosaurus is one of the largest land animals ever discovered, measuring up to 100 feet in length and weighing around 100 tons. This sauropod dinosaur, which lived in the late Cretaceous period, was a plant eater feeding on massive quantities of vegetation to sustain its enormous body. It likely browsed on conifers and cycads, reaching the tops of trees with its long neck. Despite its massive size, Argentinosaurus was likely slow-moving and vulnerable to attacks from predators. Its sheer size, however, offered it protection, as few carnivores could overpower such a massive creature. The discovery of Argentinosaurus in South America has expanded our understanding of the size capabilities of sauropods and the unique unique ecosystems that supported such massive herbivores during the Mesozoic era. Let's talk about the moon now, shall we? The moon is gradually moving away from Earth at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters per year. This phenomenon is due to tidal forces. The gravitational pull of the moon causes Earth's oceans to bulge, creating friction that slows Earth's rotation and transfers angular momentum to the moon, pushing it farther away. Over millions of years, this will lead to longer days on Earth as the moon's pull weakens tidal forces. Additionally, the moon's gradual retreat will eventually change the dynamics of Earth-Moon interactions, causing tidal ranges to shrink. In the distant future, this process could result in a day lasting 25 hours, and the moon might be too far to cause significant tidal forces, fundamentally altering Earth's rhythm. The moon experiences seismic events called moonquakes, which can occur due to a variety of causes, including tidal forces from Earth, meteorite impacts, and thermal effects from the sun. These quakes can be mild or severe, with some reaching up to 5.5 on the Richter scale, similar in magnitude to earthquakes on Earth. Scientists believe that moonquakes caused by tidal forces result from the moon's interior being partially molten or experiencing deformation. These events are critical for understanding the moon's interior composition and structure. Data from the Apollo missions, which deployed seismometers on the moon, revealed that these quakes can occur deep within the moon, providing valuable insights into its geologic activity and internal dynamics. In 2009, NASA confirmed that water exists on the moon, particularly in the form of ice trapped in permanently shadowed craters near the lunar poles. These areas never receive sunlight, allowing temperatures to drop low enough for ice to form and remain stable. The discovery is crucial for future lunar exploration and colonization. Water is essential for human survival, and the moon's water reserves could be used for drinking, oxygen production, and even splitting into hydrogen for rocket fuel, enabling more sustainable missions. The presence of water on the moon also supports the idea that the lunar environment may have been more hospitable in the past, possibly even supporting microbial life forms in the distant history of our solar system. Research shows that couples who argue at least once a week are statistically 60% more likely to stay together long term. Regular arguments promote better understanding of each other's needs and trigger the release of bonding hormones like oxytocin. In fact, couples who disagree frequently are found to have a stronger emotional connection due to the constant exchange of differing viewpoints. Studies also indicate that couples who argue at least 3 times per week are 40% more likely to experience increased financial success, as conflict encourages better decision-making skills and resource management in the relationship. The moon once had a magnetic field, similar to Earth's, but it disappeared billions of years ago. Evidence gathered from Apollo mission rock samples shows traces of magnetization in lunar rocks, suggesting that the moon had a molten core that generated a dynamo magnetic field. However, this field disappeared as the moon's core cooled and solidified. Scientists are still studying why the moon's magnetic field collapsed, but it provides insight into the history of planetary cores. The most widely accepted theory for the moon's origin is the giant impact hypothesis. This theory proposes that around 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized body named Theia collided with the young Earth, sending debris from Earth's outer layers into space. This debris eventually coalesced to form the moon. This theory is supported by the fact that the moon's composition closely resembles Earth's outer crust, but with a much lower concentration of iron. The collision theory also explains the moon's lack of a significant iron core. Studying the moon's origin helps scientists understand the early solar system and the formation of planetary bodies. The aftermath of this collision likely played a key role in shaping the Earth-Moon system as we know it today. We've used paper for more than 5,000 years. Let's go over some facts, shall we? Paper's flash point is 451 degrees, meaning it won't spontaneously ignite at lower temperatures. When exposed to heat, it chars and turns to ash slowly, rather than bursting into flames. This characteristic inspired Ray Bradbury's novel Fahrenheit 451, which explores the burning of books. The charring process is due to the cellulose in paper breaking down, releasing gases that ignite only at high heat. However, adding certain chemicals to paper can make it flame resistant, a feature used in specialized applications like firefighter manuals. Paper's behavior under heat underscores the science behind combustion and its everyday implications. China introduced paper money during the Tang Dynasty in 7th century, a groundbreaking shift from coins. These flying cash notes were light and easy to transport, but prone to counterfeiting. To combat this, authorities imposed severe penalties, including death, for forgery. The notes were backed by metal reserves, and trust in their value depended heavily on government stability. This innovation laid the groundwork for modern fiat currencies, yet it also demonstrated the challenges of managing a monetary system reliant on paper. Despite its risks, paper money revolutionized trade by making large-scale transactions more practical, especially along the Silk Road. Paper, though seemingly fragile, can exhibit remarkable strength under certain conditions. By folding a single sheet into a structural design, such as a tightly layered column, it can support the weight of a car. This strength is due to the compression forces being evenly distributed, a principle also seen in architectural engineering. Industrial applications leverage paper's strength-to-weight ratio and and products like honeycomb panels used in packaging and construction. Research into cellulose nanofibers, a component of paper, reveals materials even stronger than steel, paving the way for innovative uses. Paper's hidden strength showcases its potential beyond conventional writing and printing purposes. Paper cuts are disproportionately painful due to the microscopic jagged edges of paper, which tear skin rather than slicing cleanly. The cut often doesn't bleed much, leaving nerve endings exposed and highly sensitive to air and movement. Additionally, paper fibers can remain in the wound, causing irritation. Studies on wound healing show that shallow cuts on fingertips are among the most painful because they're densely packed with nerve endings. This makes paper cuts a prime example of how even minor injuries can cause significant discomfort. Understanding this phenomenon has even influenced the design of safety measures in workplaces handling paper. While wood pulp is the primary material for most paper, alternative sources like hemp, bamboo, and even elephant dung are increasingly used. Elephants consume fibrous plants, and their dung, rich in cellulose, is cleaned, processed, and transformed into paper. This eco-friendly practice reduces deforestation and promotes sustainability. Similarly, hemp paper has been used for centuries, prized for its durability and recyclability. Today, advancements in technology are exploring agricultural waste, like wheat straw and sugarcane bagasse, as viable paper sources. Female tarantulas have an impressive lifespan, living up to 30 years, while males live significantly shorter lives, typically 5 to 10 years. This difference is due to the fact that males often die after mating, while females continue to live and breed. Additionally, tarantulas can regenerate lost limbs during their molting process, which occurs several times throughout their lives. Although new limbs may take multiple molts to resemble the original, the ability to regrow limbs helps them recover from injuries caused by predators or fights. This ability to regenerate and their long life expectancy make tarantulas one of the more resilient arachnids. Made it this far? Buy me a coffee. It helps me with creating more content like this. Link is in the description. Tarantulas are capable of surviving up to 2 to 3 months without food, thanks to their slow metabolism and low activity levels. This survival strategy is beneficial when food is scarce in their natural habitats. In addition to their ability to go without food, tarantulas have a unique defense mechanism involving urticating hairs. These barbed hairs located on their abdomen can be released into the air to irritate predators, causing painful rashes. Despite their formidable defense and size, tarantulas are not aggressive toward humans and typically bite only in self-defense, with bites causing localized pain but rarely serious harm. Origami techniques are being used in space exploration to fold large solar panels, antennas, and telescopes into compact forms for easier launch and deployment. NASA has used origami-inspired designs for creating foldable solar arrays and antennas, reducing space travel constraints. Similarly, origami-inspired 3D printed medical materials are being developed for use in surgeries. These materials self-fold into specific shapes when exposed to water, mimicking traditional origami. This technology is being adapted for self-assembling sutures, offering a more efficient and minimally invasive alternative to traditional stitching. Origami has a surprising connection to mathematics and robotics, influencing both fields in unexpected ways. Mathematicians use origami folding to solve geometric problems, with paper folds providing insight into abstract concepts like curves and molecular structures. In robotics, origami-inspired soft robots are designed to fold and unfold, allowing them to perform tasks such as search and rescue missions or surgeries. These robots can adapt to confined spaces, making them more flexible and efficient. Additionally, origami-inspired water filters have been developed for disaster relief, folding into compact forms for easy transport and unfolding to purify water using paper-based materials, offering a practical solution for clean water access. Geysers are known for their sudden eruptions, with some spewing hot water and steam hundreds of feet into the air without any visible signs beforehand. While famous geysers like Old Faithful in Yellowstone have a predictable eruption cycle, many geysers remain highly unpredictable. A geyser erupts when underground water, heated by geothermal activity, builds up pressure, eventually forcing its way through the surface. The timing and intensity of these eruptions are influenced by several factors, including the amount of water, the temperature, and the structure of the geyser's plumbing system. Some geysers can remain dormant for years before erupting, while others may have irregular eruptions. The geothermal fields where geysers are found, such as Yellowstone, are also home to unique ecosystems with heat-loving organisms, adding another layer of fascination to these unpredictable natural wonders. Spelunking reveals hidden ecosystems and geological wonders, such as unique cave species like blind fish and bats that thrive in complete darkness. Caves are often complex and dangerous, with narrow passages, sudden drops, and varying temperatures, making navigation a challenge even for experienced explorers. The world's deepest cave, Krubera in Georgia, reaches 2,197 meters deep and was fully explored only in 2001. Caves are constantly changing due to water, seismic activity, and rockfalls, which can make previously explored paths impassable. Additionally, caves house ancient cave paintings and artifacts, offering glimpses into prehistoric prehistoric human life, like the 17,000-year-old paintings found in the Lascaux caves. Cacti are remarkable for their adaptations to extreme environments, with some species living for over 2 centuries and growing at a pace of just a few inches per year. The saguaro, for example, develops deep roots extending up to 100 feet to absorb water during rare rainfalls. Their spines, modified from leaves, provide protection from predators, shade, and reduce water evaporation. Cacti can store significant amounts of water, enabling them to survive prolonged droughts. Some species, such as the prickly pear, produce fruit packed with vitamins and antioxidants, while others, like the nopal cactus, offer edible pads rich in fiber, showcasing cacti's value both ecologically and nutritionally. Cacti, like the saguaro, can live for over 200 years, growing slowly and reaching heights over 40 feet. They store water in their tissues, with species like the barrel cactus holding up to 200 liters to survive dry spells. Their thick, waxy skin and spines, which are modified leaves, help reduce water loss, protect from herbivores, and create moisture-retaining microhabitats around the plant. Despite blooming only once a year, some species like the night-blooming cereus produce large, fragrant flowers that open overnight to attract nocturnal pollinators like bats. Additionally, many cacti, such as prickly pears, produce edible fruit rich in vitamins and antioxidants, with their pulp used in juices or jams, and pads like the nopal cactus being used in cooking for their high fiber content. Violin strings, traditionally made from catgut, which actually comes from sheep or goat intestines, are now commonly crafted from synthetic materials or steel. The violin's shape, with its hollow body and F-holes, amplifies sound by creating resonance and allowing air movement, enhancing its rich tone. Stradivarius violins, crafted by Antonio Stradivari, are regarded as the finest in history, with some selling for millions due to their unique sound and craftsmanship. Violins require constant tuning throughout the day, as changes in temperature, humidity, and string tension can alter their pitch. Despite being made of wood, violins are durable, often lasting for centuries when well maintained, with some surviving over 300 years due to their superior materials and construction. Mirages occur when light bends due to temperature differences between the ground and air, creating optical illusions like pools of water or distant floating objects. The most common type, a standard mirage, happens when hot air near the ground refracts light, often seen on roads or in deserts. Superior mirages, rarer and usually seen in polar regions, cause distant objects to appear elevated or floating, as light bends over the horizon. A specific type of superior mirage, the fata morgana, creates stacked, distorted images, making objects like ships or islands appear stretched or upside down. These illusions happen because of rapid temperature variations between air layers, and while often associated with hot climates, mirages can also be seen in colder regions, distorting distant horizons. Mirages occur when light bends due to temperature differences between the ground and air, creating optical illusions like pools of water or distant floating objects. The most common type, a standard mirage, happens when hot air near the ground refracts light, often seen on roads or in deserts. Superior mirages, rarer and usually seen in polar regions, cause distant objects to appear elevated or floating, as light bends over the horizon. A specific type of superior mirage, the fata creates stacked, distorted images, making objects like ships or islands appear stretched or upside down. These illusions happen because of rapid temperature variations between air layers, and while often associated with hot climates, mirages can also be seen in colder regions, distorting distant horizons. Casinos have been around since centuries, and while they have helped some earn jackpots worth millions, they've ruined the lives of many people. Let's talk about some facts about these casinos. Every casino game has an inherent advantage for the casino known as the house edge. This mathematical advantage ensures that the casino consistently profits over time, even though individual players can win large amounts. In games like blackjack, the house edge comes from the rules, such as the dealer winning ties. In roulette, the presence of a 0 or double 0 on the wheel gives the house an edge, as it introduces an additional set of losing outcomes for players. Slot machines typically have a higher house edge due to random number generators, making it nearly impossible to predict outcomes. The size of the house edge varies from game to game, but in all cases, the odds favor the casino, ensuring long-term profitability. Casinos are intentionally designed to keep you engaged and encourage prolonged gambling sessions. One key design element is the absence of clocks or windows. This ensures players lose track of time and remain unaware of how long they've been gambling. Bright, stimulating lights and sounds from slot machines create a lively atmosphere that entices players to keep playing. Additionally, casinos use a mix of strategically placed food and drink stations to ensure players are comfortable and well fed, reducing the urge to leave. Free drinks and comped services are often provided to high rollers, making it tempting to stay and gamble gamble longer. Even the layout is designed to guide you deeper into the casino floor, encouraging more play and more money spent. The Venetian Macau is the world's largest casino by floor space, covering over 500,000 square feet. Located in the gambling capital of Asia, Macau, it features a vast range of gaming options, including 3,400 slot machines and over 500 table games. Macau has become the world's biggest gambling hub, surpassing Las Vegas in revenue due to the influx of wealthy tourists from mainland China. The Venetian Macau is a resort and entertainment complex, housing hotels, luxury shopping, restaurants, and theaters. Macau's success is largely attributed to its legal status as a special administrative region of China, allowing for a unique and booming gambling industry. The region's economic growth is heavily driven by the casino industry, with gambling accounting for over 50% of Macau's revenue. To ensure fairness and prevent financial losses from cheating, casinos employ state-of-the-art technology for surveillance and security. High-definition cameras are mounted throughout the casino floor, providing real-time monitoring of all games. Many casinos also utilize facial recognition software, which scans faces to identify known cheaters or banned individuals. In table games, casinos use card shuffling machines to ensure randomness, while slot machines are equipped with sensors to detect irregularities. Shuffle tracking and card counting detection technologies are used to identify players who might try to manipulate the game. Additionally, some casinos use sophisticated software to monitor betting patterns, ensuring that no one is exploiting the system. This technology not only prevents cheating, but also boosts the casino's credibility by maintaining a secure and fair environment for all patrons. Casinos offer self-exclusion programs that allow individuals to ban themselves from gambling for a set period, ranging from months to years or even permanently. To initiate the process, individuals fill out a form online or at the casino, formally requesting exclusion. During this time, they are restricted from entering the casino or accessing any gambling services. Some jurisdictions enforce self-exclusion legally, ensuring the individual is blocked from licensed gambling establishments within that area. Many casinos also extend this to nearby casinos and online platforms. These programs aim to help people regain control over problematic gambling habits and often include additional support services such as counseling to assist individuals in overcoming their addiction. Gambling addiction, or compulsive gambling, is a significant concern for both individuals and the casino industry. The excitement of winning, combined with the near-miss effect where players almost win, can trigger the brain's reward system, leading to the release of dopamine and reinforcing the desire to keep playing. For some, this creates an addictive cycle where the urge to gamble overwhelms their ability to stop. This can result in financial ruin, relationship problems, and mental health issues. Casinos are often criticized for profiting from addiction, and many have implemented responsible gambling programs such as self-exclusion options and educational materials to help those struggling with gambling problems. Despite this, addiction remains a serious issue for a significant portion of casino goers. Do you think gambling should be illegal? Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, subscribe. Although pyramids are famously known as tombs for pharaohs and high-ranking individuals, some served other functions. For example, the pyramids of ancient Egypt, especially the Great Pyramid of Giza, were carefully aligned with celestial bodies, indicating their possible use for astronomical observations. The pyramids could have acted as markers for solstices and equinoxes, key events in the Egyptian agricultural calendar. In addition, some pyramids contain solar temples used for religious purposes. The structure and orientation of the pyramids are thought to represent the ancient Egyptians' belief in the sun god Ra, and the pyramid was seen as a means for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the afterlife. These pyramids were powerful symbols of divine order. Despite the remarkable precision with which many pyramids were built, some pyramids are misaligned with the cardinal points. For example, the Pyramid of Meidum, once thought to be a step pyramid before its smooth sides were built over, shows a slight misalignment with the true north. This misalignment could be due to errors in early construction techniques or changes in the Earth's orientation over time. However, despite this imperfection, other pyramids, including the Great Pyramid of Giza, exhibit extraordinary precision in their alignment. The accuracy with which ancient Egyptians could orient the pyramids toward the cardinal directions, and later adjustments made during construction, demonstrates their advanced knowledge of astronomy and engineering. The Great Pyramid of Giza, completed around 2560 BC, stood as the tallest man-made structure for nearly 3,800 years, reaching a height of 481 feet. It was built using approximately 2.3 million limestone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons, with higher quality granite used for internal chambers. The pyramid's construction required advanced knowledge of engineering, as these massive blocks were quarried locally and transported to the site, likely using ramps, sledges, or other methods. The precision in the alignment of the pyramid with the cardinal points and celestial bodies reflects the Egyptians' mastery in astronomy and architecture. The sheer scale and accuracy of the Great Pyramid's construction make it a lasting testament to ancient Egyptian engineering skills. Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth, with temperatures plunging as low as -128.6 Fahrenheit at Vostok Station in 1983. The region's temperature fluctuates, but even in the summer, it stays below freezing. The extreme cold is due to the continent's high elevation, lack of sunlight during winters, and the reflective ice surface, which prevents heat absorption. Despite its frigid temperatures, research stations remain operational, housing scientists studying climate change, glaciology, and wildlife, making it a crucial location for scientific research. Despite its cold and icy environment, Antarctica is home to Mount Erebus, one of the world's most active volcanoes. Located on Ross Island, Erebus is known for its continuous lava lake, which has been erupting for over 40 years. The volcano's eruptions are closely monitored by scientists studying its behavior and volcanic activity. Mount Erebus is part of the larger Antarctic volcanic range, which includes other active and dormant volcanoes. The volcanic heat from these eruptions can influence local ecosystems, contributing to the melting of nearby ice and providing insights into the region's geologic activity. Antarctica, despite being covered by ice, qualifies as the largest desert on Earth, receiving less than 2 inches, 50 millimeters of precipitation annually. This dry environment is due to its cold temperatures, which inhibit moisture in the air from condensing and falling as snow. Coastal regions may experience more snow, but the interior is incredibly dry. The continent's desert conditions have unique ecosystems, including extremophiles, organisms that thrive in extreme environments. The desert conditions also challenge research as they make food and water scarcity an issue for scientists working in Antarctica's research stations. Beneath Antarctica's thick ice sheet lie over 400 subglacial lakes, with Lake Vostok being the largest and most well-known. These lakes have been isolated for millions of years, with their waters remaining liquid due to the pressure of the ice above. Despite being sealed off from the outside world, microbial life has been discovered within these lakes, suggesting that life can exist in extreme environments. Antarctica has no native population or permanent residents. The only people who live there are temporary researchers working at various research stations funded by different countries. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, governs the continent, ensuring it remains a neutral zone dedicated to scientific exploration. The treaty also bans military activity, mining, and nuclear testing, establishing the region as a scientific preserve. Antarctica's lack of a native population and harsh environment mean that human impact is limited to research activities, helping preserve its pristine state. However, the continent faces environmental pressures due to climate change and human activities. Antarctica is a haven for penguins, hosting more than 18 million individuals across several species. The emperor penguin, the largest of the species, thrives in the harshest conditions, enduring temperatures as low as -60 degrees during the long winter months. Other species, like the Adelie and chinstrap penguins, also make their homes on the continent, nesting along the coast. Penguins in Antarctica rely on sea ice for breeding and feeding. They are excellent swimmers, diving for fish and krill. Climate change threatens their habitats, with the loss of sea ice disrupting breeding patterns and access to food sources, leading to population declines. Antarctica holds around 90% of the world's fresh water trapped in its vast ice sheets. If all of Antarctica's ice were to melt, it would cause global sea levels to rise by about 200 feet, submergent coastlines, and displace millions of people. The continent's ice is critical to global climate regulation, influencing ocean currents and atmospheric temperatures. In addition, the ice is home to unique ecosystems, including bacteria and other microorganisms adapted to extreme cold. Understanding Antarctica's ice and how it interacts with the global climate is crucial for predicting future environmental changes. Antarctica's ice sheet is melting at an alarming rate due to global warming. Ice loss has been accelerated by warmer ocean waters that erode the floating ice shelves from beneath. This contributes to rising sea levels, threatening coastal cities and ecosystems globally. Studies show that Antarctica has been losing about 2.7 trillion tons of ice since the 1990s, with the melting rate increasing significantly in the past few decades. Scientists use satellite data and ice core samples to monitor these changes and predict future sea level rise. The loss of ice also affects marine ecosystems, altering food chains and habitats in the Southern Ocean. But you know what the governments are planning due to the melting ice caps? Trade routes. The Arctic Circle is a politically crucial place for economic gains for several countries. Due to global warming, it's expected that it will soon open new trade routes that may significantly reduce the duration and cost of shopping goods across the oceans. It doesn't just end there, as the area is also rich in resources like oil, gold, gas, and iron, making it even more important for the countries like Russia, United States, Canada, and other European countries that are close to the region. Let's just hope that this does not turn into a global-scale war now. Kelp forests are highly productive ecosystems, growing up to 2 feet per day. They provide shelter and food for diverse marine life, acting as crucial carbon sinks by absorbing carbon dioxide. Kelp is also rich in essential nutrients like iodine, calcium, and magnesium, and is used in both food and supplements. In addition, it plays a role in combating climate change by sequestering carbon, making it vital for marine biodiversity and the environment. Kelp has potential as a sustainable biofuel, offering an eco-friendly alternative to land-based crops. It can be converted into bioethanol, and unlike traditional crops, it doesn't require fresh water, land, or fertilizers. Kelp is also being researched for its medicinal properties, including antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Microplastics are everywhere, even in remote remote locations like the Arctic and deep ocean trenches. Studies have found microplastics in snow, sea ice, and even in the air. These tiny plastic particles, less than 5 millimeters in size, can travel vast distances, making it nearly impossible to avoid their presence in our environment. Microplastics are also found in the food chain. They have been detected in fish, shellfish, and even in salt. Ingesting microplastics can pose health risks as they may contain toxic chemicals like BPA or phthalates, which can disrupt hormones and cause other long-term health issues when consumed by humans. Cesium is one of the most reactive elements on the periodic table, and it can spontaneously ignite when exposed to water. This extreme reactivity makes it a hazard, especially in its pure form. It is often stored in special containers to prevent accidental reactions with moisture in the air. Cesium is also used in atomic clocks, which are essential for GPS and telecommunications. The precise measurements of cesium-based clocks are key to maintaining the accuracy of global navigation systems. These clocks are so accurate that they can measure time down to 1/billionth of a second. Some of the deadliest poisons are naturally occurring. For instance, ricin, found in castor beans, is a potent toxin that can cause death within hours if ingested or injected. Even a tiny amount can be fatal as it inhibits protein synthesis in cells, leading to organ failure and death. Poison can also be used as a weapon with minimal trace. The chemical compound VX, a nerve agent, is extremely toxic and can cause death in minutes through skin contact or inhalation. Not only that, many everyday substances can become poisonous when consumed in excessive amounts. For example, water poisoning or hyponatremia can occur if too much water is consumed too quickly, diluting the body's sodium levels and causing swelling in the brain, which can be fatal. Potatoes are not just a starchy food, they are also rich in antioxidants. Varieties with colored skins like purple or red potatoes contain high levels of anthocyanins, which are known to combat oxidative stress in the body. This makes potatoes a surprisingly healthy addition to a balanced diet. In the 19th century, potatoes faced a near extinction event during the Irish potato famine. A fungal disease, late blight, wiped out potato crops, leading to widespread famine and the deaths of approximately 1 million people. The loss highlighted the risk of relying too heavily on a single crop. In the 18th century, rubber was considered a luxury material in Europe, and only the elite could afford to use rubber products. It wasn't until the development of rubber vulcanization by Charles Goodyear in the 19th century that rubber became widely available and more affordable for everyday use. In ancient Mesoamerica, the indigenous people of the Aztec and Mayan civilizations used rubber for various purposes, including form of currency. Rubber was highly valued for its durability and elasticity, often used to make ceremonial objects, balls, and even footwear. And that's where it ends today. Did you find the fake fact? Let me give you a hint. It's about a couple. And please subscribe, as it is the best way of supporting me throughout this journey of sharing this valuable knowledge with you guys. Until next time, the useless guy.